What's going on, everybody? The WGC is in the building. I got the fellas back with me here again tonight. We're a bit short. That's because we're recording this time, but it's all good. What's up, Stryzer? How you doing today?
Hey, how you doing, man? Good to be back.
Tell the people where they
How you
can
doing?
find you, just in case it's their first time in.
Oh yeah, you can find me at Stryzer Tube Wrestling right here on YouTube, or you can follow me on Twitter at Stryzer STW.
All right, I'd like to ask every week, any videos coming up that you think that people should be looking forward to, or we just flying by the day right now?
Just fine by the day right now.
Nothing wrong with that. Same
major.
over here. All right, Bryan. Just Bryan on YouTube. What's going on? Tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, man, y'all can find me on Just Bryan, especially this Thursday when I'm gonna put Kenny in his place, man.
Boy.
But
We'll get to that.
Yeah, man, y'all can reach me there, man.
Yeah, we got a surprise for Bryan on Thursday, but again, we'll get to it. What's up, Mr.Dubbs?
Yeah.
What's good, everybody? You can find me on YouTube at Mr.Dubbs8426 or on X/Twitter at Mr.Dubbs86. Obviously, you can find me for all of your needs when it comes to Ultra Pro Wrestling. My most recent video is going in depth into the online features we can see in Ultra Pro Wrestling. So please feel free, give me a shout out. Come let me know you watched the video and let me know you watched this podcast.
All right. Kero, what's going on?
Hello there. You can find me on YouTube with Kero the Goat 13. I do a whole bunch of pro wrestling videos, some other video game stuff like RPGs. But right now I'm working on a video called Why the WWE 2K23, My Faction Will Never Get Better. Or something along the lines. I don't know the title yet, but it's gonna talk about the microtransactions. It's gonna take a look in the past, what they did, what they're gonna do. It's a bit of a pessimistic take, but I feel like it's an issue that should be talked about. So that's what I'm working on.
All right, sounds good. And I'm interested in My Faction, so I'm gonna be checking that out here pretty soon. But now that you brought up 2K20, 2K22, 2K23, 24, whatever, there were some rumors going around about 2K24 right now, right? Yeah. About a special somebody who might make the cover. Bryan, you got the information on that? Right. You sent it to us.
Oh yes. So a certain somebody that might make the cover would be Bray Wyatt. That's the rumored thing right now. I mean, I don't know from the source. The source is good. I mean, the source has hit on a lot of things, but I still think it was too late in the cycle for something like that to happen. But it would be cool to see something like that happen, and I would love to see how the Lights Out match with LA Knight would look in game. So it definitely does depend on what they do with that.
Yeah, that would be cool. They could get a good sponsorship from Mountain Dew if they did that too. So we'll see. But I don't know. I think I'm with you though. I think it's too late. I think he passed away unfortunately I think it was too late in the year when that happened. So you would think they already got everything set up the way they're going to go. But they could do like a special edition or whatever where, maybe he's on the cover art. I don't know what else you do. Maybe you give him a few more attires or something. But I don't think he's going to be on the showcase mode or anything like that. Y'all think it's possible they got that done?
I can get in there and say I remember maybe it was WWE 2K17 where they had showcase modes as DLC. I think they did that in 2K15 as well. They had DLC showcase. So it's not impossible, but I still agree with you. Like even though they did it before, I'm not seeing it. It's a bit too late. But yeah.
Okay, you said 2K13.
Oh
17.
No, 17 and
which?
I know for a fact they did it in 2K15 with like the Ultimate Warrior, Mark Henry, Hall of Fame, maybe if I remember correctly. So
they
did it before.
They added extra. Yeah, they added extra to it.
Who was on the cover of 17? Was that?
Brock Lesnar?
That was Brock.
Yeah, I did. I like that one. That was a good one for me, I think.
That was a Brock.
What were you going to say, Clint?
I was going to say, what if the tribute to Bray Wyatt isn't necessarily like a showcase mode or anything? What if it's just like menu transitions? What if it's just throughout like how the game looks, like on the main menu, like when you go to, let's say, create a superstar, it'll have Bray's like fun house in the background. Maybe that's a way to honor him instead of just making like the matches and then save that for the next game, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they're just honoring him in certain ways because it'd be kind of hard, like you guys said, to kind of really make a full showcase in such a short time.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kero.
One thing I would absolutely fanboy over is if they did like a defeat the streak mode, but for Bray Wyatt, where like he has his own special mode and he's super hard to beat. He uses all these supernatural techniques, and you know, maybe you battle in the house or
Yeah, that'll be cool. Like a fight in a Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I got one more thing. Is that cool? Sorry.
No, anytime, Clint. Anytime you need to get in there, we need you to jump in there.
Yeah.
I always feel bad if I cut people off.
No, if you need to cut somebody off, man, get in there.
Listen, man, man, cut me off anytime you need to, bro. Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say,
wrestler too, so you can beat all of us up if you want.
Yeah.
So
well,
we're not gonna.
I'm
say
a nice
anything.
guy. That's part of the reason why I didn't make it as a wrestler. I was too nice. But yeah, as I was saying, people are in my comment section when I made the video with your information. I shouted you out, Brian. Thank you for that. Instead of covering just his matches, because they're like, he hasn't had enough matches, his career wasn't long enough, or whatever. What if they go like the Marvel route and just do what if matches?
Yeah.
Like, what if Bray Wyatt faced this person? What if the Fiend faced this person? And what if this at this Mania? Or they could do anything with that then, because that'd be a cool way to honor his memory too. I think that'd be a cool idea.
Right, and I think that's a bad argument saying he didn't have too much matches or his legacy long enough. That's crazy.
I agree.
Now I will say,
sections,
comment section.
Have you watched wrestling before?
Right, but he did lose a lot of his matches. That's the only thing. So you know, you'd have to showcase him in that way. But he's had a lot of big moments. Think about the Shield versus the Wyatts. Think about the story with Bryan Danielson. Story with Matt Hardy when they did like the final deletion thing. There's a lot you could do there.
I know he lost the match. I know he lost the match against John Cena, but the presentation with that match at Extreme Rules, where they had all the people around and stuff, that was cool too. That's another thing you can add in there. Even though he lost, it was a crucial part of his career, in my opinion. John
Cena had an entire career mode that was beating John Cena.
Yeah. You're right.
He did a whole thing just to beating John Cena and Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, but whatever you prefer. But Daniel Bryan's short career in WWE, they put into a career mode as well. No reason Bray Wyatt couldn't have one. No reason at all.
Yeah. I mean, he went through like 3 different personas. When people say that, I'm like, you definitely didn't keep up. I mean, he had Bray Wyatt. Then his run with the Fiend was generational, in my opinion. I know that he went through a lot of injuries, but it was his
first gimmick, and that was
Husky Harris.
Husky Harris with the neck, and everything. Yeah.
100%. Then he almost completely switched it up again with his last gimmick. So I think people underestimate the value of a Bray Wyatt, and you could definitely build an epic showcase out of his career.
Yes, thank you.
100%. I agree.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's say this is kind of pivoting just because I'm curious about it. If they did, let's say they didn't do Bray Wyatt for a showcase, which probably most likely is not going to happen. Who would y'all like to see have a showcase mode in WrestleMania 24? WWE 2K24. Not WrestleMania 24. Go ahead, Brian.
Right.
I honestly thought they was gonna give it to Edge. That's what I thought they were leaning towards. I know Edge left, so if that was in the plans, obviously it got scrapped at this point. If I had to choose a showcase, I would probably want Randy Orton, like a Legend Killer type showcase. They may be saving that till he retires, but he says that he's going till 50 or till the wheels fall off. So if you're gonna do it, I think a Legend Killer showcase would be so cool. Like that
now
would be
it feels
awesome.
Right. So
yes,
Triple
that would be
H.
the guy. I think.
Triple H would be awesome.
Triple H.
They've never done. I'm just saying they've never done it. If they're saving Randy Orton for later, Triple H is someone they haven't really touched. Yeah. They haven't really touched him in stories. They've done the Taker streak and a lot of things. Obviously, you could still go through Taker's career. But when they did the Attitude Era and they did a lot of things, they never really did a full Triple H, and he has had so many iterations from the Blue Blood, from all the way from Blue Blood to DX. Yeah, well, I mean, they own WCW. They go terrorizing, Blue Blood.
Have they done a Taker showcase yet?
You said did they? I don't think they did a Taker showcase. I think they just did Defeat in the Streak.
No, they didn't do a showcase. They did the streak, and they had the Attitude, and then they had the Attitude Era showcase.
I think that's another guy right now who I can see them 100% doing a showcase.
100%.
I would not be surprised if that was what it is this year. I know that they'll probably be missing some guys, obviously, but if you go through his whole WrestleMania streak,
That's what I'm saying. They've done
That'd
stuff
be
with
good.
they've done stuff with the
Yeah.
streak before, and they've done other things. So for me, I see Triple
Hey,
H.
He never
But they
got
could
the box
easily do
art by
Taker
itself,
any year.
right?
Nah, and
Taker?
actually, now
I don't think so.
that I'm thinking
Not
about it,
recently.
now that I'm thinking about it, they could do literally like a beat the streak showcase where you go through with
that'd be
every
cool.
single one of his
Yeah.
opponents,
Right.
They
and
did
you
that.
actually got to try and beat them. No,
They
I know that
already
they did that, but they
like
did
the
that.
WrestleManias, right?
Yeah, but they
No,
didn't
they
tell
did
it
that
in
in
this way.
2K14.
Yeah, like with Bryan.
Yeah, they didn't
saying.
tell it. Yeah, where you did the defeat the streak. In WWE 2K14, you could choose anybody, but here you
But
do
didn't
a
they
whole.
do? Didn't they do defeat the streak in 2019 as well? 2K19.
But I was like,
No, he's saying
It's
this
not like
time
this though.
you give
not
the
like this.
Undertaker center stage, put him on the box art, and make that showcase
Yeah.
mode. You're going from
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
till the end of
I'm
his
just saying,
streak.
it's just my point was more that just
Expanding,
they've done a
yeah.
lot with Taker over these years where they've never done anything.
Well,
with
you
Triple
know what,
H,
Mr.
right?
Dubbs? The Undertaker's my favorite wrestler of all time, so I said do more with him. Put him in the next 3
Hey,
games.
one of mine
He's a
as
safe
well.
bet.
One of mine as well.
Fair enough,
You
yeah.
can't go wrong with the Undertaker.
Being that him and Bray Wyatt had like that persona where people felt like he was passing off the torch, I wouldn't even be mad if Bray Wyatt was on the regular cover and then you do Taker the 120 edition that they do. Like that's another thing you can do as well.
Yeah,
That'd be sweet.
Has The Rock had a showcase yet?
No, just added their stuff. He's been in showcases,
Yeah.
not his
I think The
own.
Rock,
He's been in
especially if
showcases,
he's gonna
not his
face
own,
Roman.
Yeah, The Rock could be a good one.
He ain't facing Roman, bro. That ain't happening this year, bro. You know who coming for the belt, man.
It might.
I hope it's
You
Cody.
never
I
know,
hope
Brian.
it's
You
Cody.
never know.
Yeah,
I don't think Roman's going to
I don't
lose
know-
the
I
belt
don't
at
know now.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I don't think Roman,
What was
but
that?
that's a different
And-
conversation. But
yeah.
But
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
just to end off that other one, I was with you, Mr. Dubbs. I was thinking it should be Triple H, and I thought it was going to be Triple H. But the Undertaker's a good argument too. Maybe it is time for
Always.
Triple H because it's
Every
fresh,
year.
But yeah,
I just think Triple H hasn't been touched, whereas Taker has had bits and pieces in a lot of games. But
Yeah.
we can do anybody.
yeah,
They
I can
literally
see Triple H
have
on the box art too,
every
so.
wrestler.
But
I
should
mean,
Triple
they
H
can
would be
do,
a
they can do
long
Kurt
career.
Angle if they wanted.
Yeah, it would.
Not that they're going to, but they can do Kurt
for
Angle if they
real.
want.
20 hours.
He
know what I
won the
mean?
championship up to like 3 years ago. Like,
Wasn't his
Like-
first match with Ultimate Warrior where he got squashed on television?
honestly though, maybe I'm in the minority, but I wouldn't want to see a Kurt Angle showcase.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
That'd be
no.
kinda cool.
I don't.
I'm
I'm just
feeling
saying-
that. What, I'm gonna throw everybody in an ankle lock and call it a day. Like,
I think would Bray
that
Wyatt
any
make
different
more
than
sense
throwing
than
everybody
Kurt
in the
Angle
pedigree?
when it comes to
Yeah.
legacy in WWE? Who did more in WWE, Bray Wyatt or Kurt Angle? I mean, Kurt Angle
Kurt
came
Angle.
at a better time, of
Kurt
course.
Angle for sure.
Kurt Angle for sure.
I think
for
Kurt
me.
Angle, yeah.
I just seemed like
I
it
mean,
seemed like
Kurt-
his run was so short. It was so short. I don't know what it is.
Bro.
Maybe
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just
it
me
was
thinking
so
back.
short for what he did.
But
Yeah.
but for how much Vince loved him as a son, like literally letting his own son get thrown through that glass window at King of the
Yeah.
Ring over and over. Like Kurt Angle was entrusted with so much so quick. The reason you don't see Kurt Angle the same way is because he got pushed in an Intercontinental and European champion within
Oh, no,
6
it was
months of being
fine.
in
Yeah.
the business,
He
right?
won at the
Yeah.
90s
And then
debut,
he was
right?
right to world title. But I'm saying that he was undefeated until Taz came in when they
Yeah.
bought ECW out. But like Kurt Angle he was on a meteoric run faster than anyone we'd ever seen until Brock Lesnar, right?
Yeah.
He was, I think, wasn't he maybe not the youngest champion, but like youngest in the business for how
He was
quickly they put
21.
the world title on him. Like
Did
for
they-
how quickly they put the title on him. Age-wise, I don't think he was anywhere close to the young. Like Brock Lesnar was the youngest for a while, and then it was someone,
Randy Orton,
maybe
right?
Randy beat him for that.
Randy took it.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, when Kurt Angle, as far as years in the business, so much less, like, before Lesnar, but he was the first person to go with that from, like, 2 years in the business or 18 months to world champion.
Yeah.
It had never been done before.
Which makes him another answer to this question. Brock freaking Lesnar. I mean,
Right.
like,
It's another
Oh,
his match with The
that was
Rock,
another
his
one.
debut
That would
against
be
Hardy.
fire.
Do you remember when he came
but
back?
I feel like
Go ahead, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
no. Go ahead. When he, what year? What you're talking about when he came back from the UFC?
From UFC, and he like elbowed John Cena in the head and stuff. He was
Yeah.
bleeding and all that. That was crazy. I was like, "That's
That
real.
was
That's
crazy.
Does
real."
anyone know if that was
No,
planned or
no,
not?
the
I think it was
elbowing was
planned,
on
I'm
Randy
sure.
Orton. The elbowing was
No, but
Randy
he made
Orton.
John Cena bleed too. I don't know if he punched
No,
him
he
or
made
what.
John Cena
He
bleed
made
that
John
same
Cena
Hard
bleed
way,
exact
too.
way too.
Hard
Yeah.
way?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he
Oh,
did.
okay.
Even with pulling his punches, he made him bleed.
Yeah.
I remember him coming back and losing his first match to Cena and then losing to Triple H
That was
because
beautiful.
Yeah, that was
WWE's
bad.
like, UFC champion.
Yeah.
We're better
Our
than
guys beat
UFC
you.
fighters. We're better than real fighters.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, wait, we need to rehab Brock now because he's got a big contract.
Yeah. And
Cena's like, crush me.
They crushed
Crush
him.
me with Suplex City.
Gave him the streak
Another
and made him
great-
a monster again. But the thing is, they shouldn't have needed to do that. They should have just kept him up whenever he came back.
There was no
I'm
reason
not gonna
for
lie.
him to lose. to
Vince
Cena.
McMahon was so inclined into killing UFC that he just didn't care.
Yeah, delusional.
He's like, look at this guy. He was a UFC champion. Now he's losing to our guy, John Cena.
Yeah.
And now he's losing to Triple H. Look
Man,
at us.
just
We're so much stronger than pro fighters.
Look
Like,
what he did to
that's-
Cain Velasquez when he came in.
Oh my
Dude.
god, dude.
That was bad. Came over, got beat by Brock, never saw him again. That was crazy.
How do you-
I mean, that made sense though, because at least Brock was a WWE guy. Like that made sense. And
Yeah.
Kane was never that great a wrestler.
But Kane beat
like
Brock
he was
Lesnar in
getting
UFC.
into it.
So for him to
Yeah,
come in
but
and just
he was
get
never
washed,
he
that
was
was
never
bad.
a big. Nah, I don't. That doesn't surprise me. Brock got beat by Goldberg in 30 seconds as when he was hot.
Well, UFC is real, so Cain Velasquez beating Brock Lesnar
Yeah.
is different than
But
him coming into
but that's the
WWE
whole-
and kind of getting washed.
Yeah.
like
that's
that.
my whole point with Brock coming back against Cena. That was the whole point. The UFC's real. He was the UFC champion. Our guy beat him. Look at that. Cena's better, so is Triple H. They both get the wins.
Well, we'll just call it
Cena
Vince
was
logic.
the one who came up. Yeah, well, Cena was the one who came up with the idea to like destroy me. You
Yeah, I
have
did
to
see
rip
that.
me apart to rehab you. It's like you just have to kill me. Like just kill me. And Suplex City was born, and now we are where we are today. Like if it wasn't for that match, Brock would have basically probably turned out like Ronda Rousey is now. Who's talking about Ronda
I don't
Rousey's
think so.
WWE run?
Nah, I think
I'm
you're tripping, my
Brock
boy.
is
Like,
inevitable. No matter what they
No,
do.
but
Brock's
I'm
gonna
saying
beat
that
Brock.
like they weren't doing right by Brock when he came back. He didn't have Paul Heyman by his side. He immediately demanded it, but like they weren't doing anything with Brock when he came back in 2015. Like it was a joke, or 2014, whatever the year was. They did not care about him until they're like, oh, we're gonna push you to the moon and we're gonna have you beat the streak. But before that, he lost clean to John Cena and Triple H for no reason. Like, what's the argument behind that other than we're
Maybe
better
to
than
see-
UFC?
Maybe to see if he would play ball, because
I don't
with him
think
and
that
Vince,
was it.
the way that whole
I
thing
mean-
ended the first time.
I think it's Vince just pissed off sour grapes over
If it was
Hey,
a long-term thing,
you left.
might
You
be
left
different.
me.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, fellas. My speaker's by my foot.
No, I'll get
No.
If y'all heard the echo.
Excuse me.
How do you guys feel about Mick Foley being
Mick
on the
Fol-
cover?
Ooh,
and
that's
the
a good
showcase?
one. Mick Foley, I used to
Because he's
love
had a
him
great
like when
career,
his
too.
Hey,
feud
man,
with the
that-
Undertaker.
covers?
Like
You
when
get
he
to
came-
sell 3 covers
Yes.
for collectors.
Dude, love.
that's a good
Hell
idea.
yeah.
3 covers
Is-
for collectors.
is he still
I
signed?
would, I would actually not mind the
Dude, love
showcase.
Icon
for him.
Edition.
Yeah.
Oh
Is-
yeah. that'd
he's
be
still
cool.
under
Probably
Legends
still signed
contract?
to a Legends deal. I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know. I
sure
haven't seen
because
him
he would have been
around.
in AEW if he wasn't.
That's
Tony
what I
Khan
was
would've
gonna
got
say.
him.
He would have been there yesterday.
I used to love when he was
I'm not
Mankind,
gonna
rocking back
lie,
and
though.
forth, pulling his hair out when he was feuding
Yeah.
against the Undertaker. My favorite.
Yeah,
That was before your time.
I would not
Brian.
mind that showcase. Nah, but I
Yeah.
watched it though. I watched it.
Oh, okay.
So I got a question for everybody, just based on that comment that Kero made. Obviously, he'd be signed to AEW. We see now everybody that leaves WWE is just snapped up by AEW. Edge, everybody, doesn't matter the age, whatever. So in the pandemic, when everybody was getting let go by WWE, why didn't AEW sign Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, and 20 other guys that they could have? I expected them to go. I didn't want to see all these ex-WWE guys go to AEW and it become TNA. But honestly, why didn't a Braun Strowman or a Bray Wyatt, among the other people that were released, ever get signed by AEW? They had
Braun
money.
Strowman was talking
I've-
trash, right?
Maybe
Go ahead,
they
Kero.
wanted too much money.
Yeah. I just have
I
a
mean-
quick answer, just one sentence. I
Too
just
much
think
money?
they didn't
much
want
money
it
for
themselves.
20
Like they just didn't see it as
don't-
creatively
agree.
pleasing.
Yeah.
I would say that too. I think that they just didn't want to go there.
Yeah.
If I'm being
Well,
honest.
I mean, remember, this was also at a time when all the flowers were blooming on AEW of creative freedom. Everybody who's gone there is so happy and fulfilled. This is before now of like CM Punk backstage as a
Right.
joke where you're working with children. This was when everything's great. Look at Moxley, creative freedom. Everybody's happy. Look how great they treated Brody Lee and what a beautiful send-off they gave him. What a perfect, wonderful company that lured CM Punk to come in. That got lured's the wrong word, but that enticed him to come in. Where was Bray Wyatt and these people? Because again, they're let go by WWE at a time.
They said he had
WWE let go of these guys.
Yeah.
Again, this is a pandemic. They have nowhere to work. Everything else is closed. And WWE said, "See you later."
Hey, hold on.
Why is your loyalty still WWE?
Wait. Didn't he have a health issue? So like maybe he just didn't want to wrestle in general. Like let me just be safe.
Creative freedom. I'm sure Tony Khan would have said, "Work once a year. Just give us your creative mind. Come in." Tony Khan will sign anybody to any deal. It seems.
I don't know. I heard
it honestly seems like he'll sign
with him.
Jake the Snake Roberts with all his problems. Here, just go manage a wrestler. Come into my company. I love wrestlers. I love you. Like it's, and this is again when AEW didn't have any negative stigma or anything, and it was creative freedom and everything's. It's just it shocks me now seeing every WWE castaway get signed. Like I didn't want to see early on, like it become TNA 2.0, and Impact 2.0.
But then
why did so many of those people and like the
which
Gallows,
ones are you talking about?
Gallows,
when you say which wrestlers didn't sign, which ones?
Mainly was the bigger ones for me were Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, but there was Gallows and Luke
had a bad stigma. He was talking a lot of trash about smaller wrestlers and saying indies. I'll never. What did he say about AEW? He said they were lazy because they work 1 day a week. So
right, I mean, and then he'll work that into a gimmick. Tony Khan doesn't care. He'll work that into a
but
gimmick.
Then you got Matt and Nick Jackson, and you got Kenny Omega. They're like, we don't want a guy like that in this locker room. Look at what they did with CM Punk.
Yeah, that's after they got the company improved to be a draw. I don't like.
But you had
Braun Strowman all about getting CM Punk.
It's like Shotzi Blackheart. Like she was saying negative stuff about AEW and Chris Jericho. Like he pointed it out. Like you just mess yourself up. So if you leave WWE, you're not coming over here. I mean, they could act like they don't care, but when you make those type of statements, when you're Team WWE against AEW, they're not going to rush to bring you in if your contract is up.
Sure, but there's so many guys. There's like Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. I mean, they ended up going to Impact. AEW. They were Impact, and they were initially going to get signed to AEW and accepted deals. I think the reason they didn't get signed is because they turned down the deals in the first place.
Right.
Impact signed them, and they let them do TV, but they never signed them. But there was a lot of names there where I was surprised. Young talent too, NXT, whatever else. I was just like, I was surprised. I was happy about it because I wanted to see AEW stars grow, and I didn't want to see every single leftover. I just thought it was interesting because now it seems like anyone who leaves WWE, it's just an instant sign. It feels like.
But you got it where some guys are just WWE guys, and even if they got the opportunity to go to AEW, they wouldn't take it. Like there was a girl in TNA. Is it not Dakota Kai? She went to TNA after she got fired from WWE, and she was saying her goal was to get back to WWE. So you got some people like that. Not Emma. She was their champion for a long time.
What's
Impact Women's Champion or like NXT Women's Champion?
Not Blair Davenport.
You're talking about Mickey James, are you?
Not Mickey James.
That'd be.
Let me see.
Peyton Royce or one of those like Royce. Those two girls.
I think she was in NXT and then she got fired.
Deonna Purrazzo?
I think that's who it is, Deonna Purrazzo.
Isn't Deonna Purrazzo wrestling for Ring of Honor? Literally,
she is.
Yeah,
that's what it is. She was released from WWE. And she said her goal was to go out and kind of blow herself up and then go back. She's in Ring of Honor, but she, like when she left, she
signed
said her goal was to go back.
Branding.
AEW brand, but I don't know. I mean, maybe her mind changed. Maybe she's a Triple H girl though, so she might still be on the way back.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't cut them off now at this point if they go to AEW from WWE. But when she first got fired,
I mean, Ring of Honor.
No, I'm saying it's not that bad stigma or whatever on them anymore now that AEW is a contender. But now, whatever. If she's released, she's a Triple H girl, so I'm sure she's going to bring her back in. But she was saying that her goal was to make it back to WWE, and she really didn't want to do anything else. Most
anybody, I imagine, anyone who's a wrestler would rather go with the established brand that they grew up watching.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing.
The like company that'll pay them good money, but it's like you don't know if they're going to be around in 5 or 10 years. And if it looks bad on you to go back to have gone there, then you don't want to do it. But now it's clear with Jade Cargill, Cody Rhodes, and whoever else makes the move. Then it's like, okay, build yourself up on AEW TV, and then you've just got a bigger, higher price tag.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing when AJ Styles went to New Japan before he went to WWE, right?
Right.
He built himself up in New Japan, became champion, and then got a much higher price tag when he went over. And I think the same thing's going to happen with the Will Ospreay and MJF. I mean, if they push Wardlow to the moon before his contract's up, it doesn't matter because I think he's eventually just going to end up in WWE. But at the same time, it's like, I just want both wrestling to be great. Like, why have one? You can like the Chicago Bulls and be a Jordan man all your life and love the Bulls, but you can still appreciate when the Pistons come to town because you want to see Grant Hill. Right? Or if you know what I mean? I'm dating myself here with my basketball references, but like you can still appreciate like when certain teams come to town. And to me, it's just Tony Khan's been in professional sports for a long time. He treats it like that. He's all about the trades and the different things. He's cool to have Jade Cargill go over and debut Edge on his or Adam Copeland on his TV. Right. I'm just kind of, I don't know. AEW for me the last several months has been like, please build storylines.
Yeah.
You're great at making matches. WWE has proven under Triple H that storytelling brings viewership. And over the last 2 years, no one can deny when Triple H is the head of creative, the ratings have gone up.
Right. Well, we don't want to get back to Triple H because you just mentioned AEW and we just got off track since we started. So let's get on track and talk about what our first topic was supposed to be. Sting's gift from Tony Khan. Bryan, you want to start us off?
All right.
He's got to take a drink first.
Well, I'll run it down while you're watching it down. So Tony Khan announced during the week, I got a gift for Sting. It's going to be the biggest gift in the world, the best gift in pro wrestling. You know, Bryan had a good idea saying maybe he's going to add him into the Hall of Fame. I thought, you know what? That's very interesting. He's going to retire, make him your inaugural member of the Hall of Fame. But Bryan, what did we get?
Man, we got 85-year-old Ric Flair.
Woo.
Is he 85?
No, I don't think he's 85, but he looks like it.
Yeah, he's 100.
Yeah. Like Christian Cage said, he's one kick away from getting his pacer kicked out or something like that. That was, hey man, Christian Cage is a true heel. I truly like that segment he did.
Yeah, 74. Ric Flair 74.
74, yeah. Before he can't stop wrestling. So, yeah. But I just honestly thought, like, man, Tony, what are you doing, bro? And the thing too that was getting brought up on social media, it made Tony look bad because he was talking about Vince McMahon's like allegations and stuff, and then you bring Ric Flair in after all the stuff that he got going on. So it's like it make you look like, all right, bro, you just doing it, you just doing whatever for the money. Which at the end of the day, is wrestling. We get it, it's a business, but you can't go on social media start talking crazy, and then the exact same thing like literally a week later. So that for me was like, all right. Ric Flair, I'm always a fan of Ric Flair. I don't mind him. It was just the way that he hyped it up. It was, this is the greatest thing. I'm thinking they're going to do a Hall of Fame, even though I told them in the chat, this may be a little too early for a Hall of Fame. Yeah. The company got, what, like 5 years? So it's not like, okay, it may
4 to 5.
Not even. So it might not even be, it may be a little too early, but Sting would not be a bad one because Sting has literally been there and he's been doing his thing, and obviously he's an icon. You would want him in your Hall of Fame, but that's what I originally thought it was. But man, I'm gonna tell you right now, they shocked me in a bad way when Ric Flair came out. That was the gift. I was asking in the chat, like, yo, was that really the gift? Turns out it was.
So who was the inaugural Impact Hall of Fame member? Was it Sting or was it Kurt Angle?
Most likely Kurt, if I had to guess.
I can't remember. It was either Sting or Kurt, but I remember the inaugural. I thought it was Sting, but maybe it was Kurt.
Clint, what did you think about Ric Flair popping up?
Okay, yeah. They did what all YouTubers do. They clickbaited us all into watching the show. Big time. I think it would have been cooler, like Bryan said, have a Hall of Fame or Hall of Elite or whatever, and then give them like a cool commemorative, big, huge wrestling belt that's all Sting themed and AEW themed.
Yeah,
I think that would have been really cool.
That would have been a good gift.
This on AEW.com. They could have done that as a marketing thing, and That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Free ideas, man. That's genius idea. I love that idea.
Yeah.
I would have bought one.
I think that would be cool. Instead of let's say they
cool.
do open up their Hall of Fame, instead of giving out rings, well, I guess it's classic to give Hall of Fame rings. But maybe you give them a belt, like some type of customized belt.
Yeah, he got money for
He got
both.
the money for
Make
it.
it happen, Tony.
I think that'd be cool. Now you could sell them too.
Man.
That's merch. That's a good merch idea.
Yeah. He made his money back right there.
Do they sell the Owen Hart belts? The Owen Hart belts that they make? Do
Do they
sell
even have
right?
replicas on their? Do they have replicas on their website? I don't know.
I'm not
For
sure.
the Owen Hart belt, I'm not sure. Because they have replica belts, but I don't know about the Owen Hart title, so I'm wondering, because that's great. That's a great idea. And
Mr.
know
Dubbs, how did you
existed.
feel about Ric Flair popping up?
Oh, he's super angry right
He
now.
lost Mr. Dubbs again.
He looks
Kero,
mad.
how did you feel about Ric Flair popping up on AEW?
It was like seeing a
comeback.
ghost from the past. I now wasn't excited as you guys were. Maybe I guess it's been a while since Tony pulled off a trick like this, but I mean, come on, he does this basically every week. Guys, next week, I swear I got something great, man. Just watch, and it's always something like this. So I was not expecting anything less from Mr. Tony here with Ric Flair. It is interesting. I mean, we talked about this whole Sting retirement situation the last episode, how it's like super unclear. Like, is he actually going to retire at Revolution while Wembley is just like a couple of weeks away after that, or like a month or two? Like, I don't know. And the Hall of Fame thing, though, I think it's going to happen for sure. After Sting retires, or right after he retires with his final match. And like differentiating themselves instead of like a ring and having that custom made title would be absolutely sick, or anything else for that matter. Yeah, like that would be sick. But it's just it's ridiculous. AEW. I mean, so much potential, so much disappointment. It reminds me of TNA in every single way. Now with Ric Flair being there, literally in the ring with Sting.
Hulk Hogan's
Can
next.
we just call AEW TNA? Oh yeah, dude, brother. He's
Coming
feeling
in, brother.
He's getting ready.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna turn my TV off that day.
Oh,
Click,
geez.
I'm gone.
I could,
Thanks, Tony.
Yeah.
Bye, Tony.
You just willed it into existence. It's gonna happen.
No way. He already talked too much trash
I'm
about
with-
Hogan. He can't do that. I'm gonna bash him on Twitter if he does that. I'm gonna run the @TonyCon
block.
train and like. All right, Mr. Dubbs, we lost you when we asked you. What did you feel about Ric Flair?
Yeah, I saw that. I personally am not surprised at all. It wasn't what I was expecting. Like, I don't know really what I was expecting, if it was going to be Hall of Fame or an opponent, or I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. I think the title belt thing is such a great idea, such great for marketing. I hope if and when they do a Hall of Fame, it'll probably be like an all-in kind of event thing. Like if All In's going to be their WrestleMania kind of deal, I could see them doing it like as a weekend thing and doing that kind of thing. I think a belt would be a great idea as opposed to a ring. But as far as Ric Flair, I'm not surprised because they wanted to bring him in months ago for Andrade. They also wanted to bring in Charlotte Flair. They're going to have the whole family. And there was the whole talks was Charlotte's contract's coming up. Is she going to maybe come over? Andrade's here. They're bringing in Ric Flair. They're going to have the whole deal. And they had Ric Flair do the he was a manager for Andrade in that Kenny Omega match in Mexico. And he was going to come in to manage Andrade. And then the Dark Side of the Ring piece came out. And it was like, oh, whoa, super bad PR on Ric Flair right now. We can't do it. So he's always wanted him there. They've been in talks, and obviously with Andrade and everything there, it made sense. So this doesn't surprise me. I think it's the best time for it because obviously when the Dark Side of the Ring piece came out, having him swinging around the helicopter, not a good look. Why he would bring up as you touched on, Bryan, before with the bringing up the Vince thing and then bringing in Ric Flair because they're so, similar issues tied together. I don't understand the tweet, like the timing of it, when obviously you're bringing in Ric Flair. So makes no sense to me why he would do that.
Right.
But the Ric Flair itself didn't surprise me at all because we knew he wanted to bring him in for a long time, and he's a wrestling fan historian. So does it make me any more interested in the product or even in this program? Not at all. Ric Flair doesn't do anything for me in 2023. I'm happy he's there. I'm happy he's getting a paycheck,
Well,
but No.
It did surprise me because of exactly the reason y'all are saying, like how hard he went at Vince McMahon for all of that stuff. Ric Flair was on Dark Side of the Ring, allegedly sexually harassing a woman. I mean, you said you're gonna let time blow off. Let time doesn't take that away from what he did. I mean, he was never like cleared of those allegations or anything after that episode came out. So there's no difference in bringing him on right after it came out or waiting a year or two after it came out. So I think it's just like,
of course there's a difference though.
There's no difference.
But of course there's a huge difference because there's no heat surrounding it. How much talk is there around Ric Flair's horrible outside of the ring, his misdealings? How much is the Dark Side of the Ring thing even being talked about?
Let's
How
just
much
say morally.
Brought up on Twitter?
Morally, that's what I mean. Morally, I mean, no heat.
Yeah,
I mean,
morally,
I don't care about heat.
Not.
Whatever, what
but
heat. But I mean, morally, he still did what he did.
Hogan back. It's the same thing bringing Hulk Hogan back to WWE. There should have never been a time he came back. Oh no, I'm not saying he did, but I'm saying it just as far as wrestling, it's just you give enough time to anything. Trump's forgiven for saying grab her by the hoo-ha. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter like who it is. But I'm just I mean they're gonna try.
I don't think they're gonna touch Trump
in AEW.
But he's still Vince's friend.
Trump to AEW, right? He's still in the Hall of Fame.
I would love
to be WWE.
Bring Trump to AEW.
And Mike Tyson, completely separate from that, but just hearing because he was in when they did the thing with Jericho and everything, and they were having the Tyson spots. Tyson was on his own podcast with Undertaker. And they were looking up stuff for him in wrestling, and they kept having this AEW stuff pop up. He says, "Oh," and then he's like, "Oh, what's that? Yeah, bring that up." He's just like, "Oh, he was like, that's not WWE." He's like, "Oh yeah, that's some minor league stuff." Like, "Oh yeah, I can't believe I did that. Yeah, they just paid me a lot." He was so embarrassed being in front of Taker and having these when he was trying to bring up his stuff from like the '98 Stone Cold stuff. That like what was popping up on YouTube. He was just like, "Oh yeah, don't pay attention to that. They're minor leagues. They just paid me a lot of money." But it's so sad to hear that, like, guys like that, you got a big paycheck. I don't like hearing AEW talked about as such, like, a garbage promotion. Like, oh, this is
I didn't even know about that.
It's like, oh, you didn't watch the podcast with Mike Tyson and Undertaker?
No, I didn't see it.
It's pretty good. Anyways, Tyson was super down talking AEW. Like, it was this garbage minor leagues. They just paid me a bunch of money. And he was super embarrassed for having done it. Because he was so proud of his angle with Stone Cold and loves wrestling. Yeah. But he made AEW sound like such second-class garbage. I guess because it's Taker, but like I was just like so turned off.
Did Taker respond to it?
I can't. I don't know. They kind of just moved past it and got to his like Stone Cold stuff and everything. Taker didn't really talk too much about it, but it's just Tyson really downplayed, made like AEW seem like, oh, they just this is my PR team. I got paid a lot of money. It's garbage. Because it was what was popping up on YouTube when they typed in Mike Tyson wrestling, right? And he was just trying to find his 98 stuff with Stone Cold. But stuff like that just makes me sad. You get paid a ton of money. Like, I hope Snoop Dogg doesn't talk like that after he did that terrible frog splash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Snoop Dogg, he's like that. Doing it up in wrestling. Did he save WrestleMania after he went to AEW? That was after he went to AEW. Yeah, he saved Sheamus Man and saved everything. Yep. That was amazing, just on the fly. They said he didn't none of that was planned. He just kind of took over. Like,
I agree.
Anybody heard about Shane McMahon? Any news?
No, but I love Shane McMahon.
How's his quads doing?
Is he gonna buy AEW?
Yeah, he is.
Or join him?
I know.
Was anybody else watching?
You wanted to buy UFC.
Was anybody else watching live when Shane McMahon bought WCW? I know, Brian, you weren't born yet, but
brother, oh my God.
Yes, I was.
You
I
either,
was
Kero?
Definitely watching that.
No.
Come on.
I was an embryo.
Were you?
My jaw was dropped.
Clint, you said you were.
Yeah, I watched that.
I thought it was fake. I was
awesome.
like, I was still.
Wait, he did that live?
Huh?
When Shane McMahon popped up on that
was real
on Nitro.
Yeah, it was, no, it wasn't real. Amazing. They planned it. Like, Vince bought it and then said, "All right, Shane." That was a quick angle because I think they bought it that day.
Yeah, no.
And then
and they literally had Shane McMahon show up on the Nitro. It was a simulcast.
I think the wrestlers didn't even know what was going on until. Man, that was the best time of wrestling, man.
Absolute best. By far.
You know what's funny is everybody craps on AEW, but they don't seem to realize if AEW goes away, then we're going to have a monopoly on wrestling again, and whatever WWE puts out, that's it. That's
and crap crappier contracts for the boys, less work for camera guys, studio guys. Like, think of how many jobs there are in just television. Like, I'm not talking about wrestlers. I'm talking about just
camera guys,
all the other guys, camera guys, lighting guys, producers, ring crew. It's crazy. Like, why wouldn't you want as many products to be hot as possible? That's why I don't watch any NWA, but I'm all for Billy Corgan being a fan of wrestling and trying to get a TV deal, and I hope he succeeds, and I hope it gets lots of viewers. It might not be my style of wrestling, and I might not be into it, but as much work and a bidding war there are for stars, the better, man. That just makes the product better. And like, looking at LA Knight, how successful is he in WWE right now? Where would he be if there wasn't an Impact and places for him to grow? Right. So I don't know. I think it's important for wrestling of all kinds to just be out there and for people to get to see what they want.
Options.
All right. So let's jump into some wrestling game talk. So Symbol, Matt, shout out to Matt, just had an interview with the creator of Ultra Pro Wrestling. I haven't had a chance to make it through. I was trying to watch it while I was at work, but I haven't watched the full interview yet. Did you get a chance to check out the full interview, Mr. Dubbs?
I am about 80% through it before I was finishing it up before the podcast. Most of the points that they touched on, I'm already well aware of, because a lot of it was for new eyeballs on the product, to get them up to speed as to what the vision is for the game and what the goal is. And I thought Matt did an incredible job as far as just guiding the interview into the questions people wanted to know about, whether it be the single player campaign, creation aspect, the complete open sandbox aspect, and Sam Vallely himself, the creator of Ultra Pro Wrestling, like the main dev behind it, he seems like a genuine wrestling game fan who probably fell off like a lot of us did, who maybe grew up playing the Aki series of wrestling games and maybe hasn't been the biggest fan of the 2K series over the last 10 plus years. And he's just trying to bring us back to a place where, there was nothing that was more fun. And I agree with him, growing up as a kid playing, WCW NWO World Tour when I was in grade 7 every day, going to my friend's house after school and just playing against him and playing the title matches and playing matches and having that co-op feel, that he really wants to be able to recreate that, which he made very clear that he wants to make the online have that feeling where, you're getting to play. And because it was very unique in a wrestling game where it was very competitive and you had to get really good at knowing the timing of moves and different things and when to reverse. And it was a very, very competitive game that we didn't necessarily have for a long time in wrestling games, which nowadays we have much more, but we didn't at the time. And to have that be able to come to online is a wonderful thing. If people aren't familiar with it, the idea behind it is that initially there was not going to be a single licensed wrestler. Obviously, we know now there's going to be a lot of DLC added over time of licensed wrestlers, but it's designed to be your own sandbox. So they want it so that they have it in an art style where you can create your own vision of what you want. Basically, if you play 2K, what your ideal universe would be, they want you to be able to create in this game. So you can fully customize everything from every piece of attire and every wrestler in the game, and that will transfer over to the story mode as well.
So it does have face morphing, like the Creative Fighter. Did he mention how deep the Creative Fighter goes? Or Creative Wrestler?
It's every have you seen some of the renders of the DLC, like a Matt Cardona or any of the guys like from the trailer and stuff? So all of those guys were created from the same creative wrestler that we're going to use. He has said every wrestler they've created in game, they use the same creative wrestler that we're going to use to create guys. And every texture, face, hairstyle, beard, every piece of attire, whether it's a man's or a woman's, because he said in the No Mercy games and the Yaki games, you could put Sable's attire on Steve Austin if you wanted, or vice versa, kind of thing, right? Obviously, the women would have their chest covered and stuff, but other than that, you can have the same attires put on either gender. It doesn't matter. You can morph them. You can change men to women, women to men. Doesn't matter. And in the story, every character you change in game will reflect in the story mode. So if you have a story of, say, the 80s, because they have a very ambitious career mode, that is designed to take course over the entire decade of the 80s at launch. And later on, as a later DLC, the 90s, and then the 2000s, and so on. But in the 80s, you're going to have not just WWF, WCW, NWA, All Japan. You're going to have all these promotions from all over the world. And there's going to have characters in-game that represent real wrestlers, be it a Dusty Rhodes, a Ric Flair, etc.
Oh, so
but they're going to be represented.
Like the knockoff characters, kind of like they did with
they're not doing knockoff. Not at all. It's literally just in the storyline. They're going to have the storylines from the 80s. So there's going to be just an avatar that represents a Ric Flair. But he's not going to have Ric Flair's moves. He's not going to look at all like a knockoff Ric Flair. He might be Cal or whatever. Just name any random character like from Dick Blair. You've seen from the roster. Big Blair is going to represent Ric Flair. Dick Blair, sure. So Dick Blair is going to represent Ric Flair. But again, they won't have crappy knockoff names either. But once you play the story mode, if you recognize the story, it's like, oh, this is Ric Flair's run to the top, or this is Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania. Even though the character is like a Mexican wrestler. No, but they'll have like a Mexican wrestler representing it. So there's no representation of the character.
Well, I mean, like it's the storylines.
It's their story. Well, it's going to be their story. It's just a creative story. Like you can have an undefeated streak at your created promotion, not called WWF, not called WrestleMania, and you just have a streak every year at your annual event in the American promotion, right? That they're doing everything to skirt any copyright laws. That's why there's not going to be any likenesses that look anything like real wrestlers, or they're not. That's what I mean. Like even if you see a cowboy Bill Dollar, he's not meant to represent Stone Cold necessarily just because he's Texas and got a Texas vest on. He might be representing Ric Flair or some Japanese wrestler. It doesn't matter. They're just meant as avatars, and you, through the community creations, because they're going to have that, so you can have full sets, and they're going to have image uploaders and, you know, so all the textures so that you can put on the proper tights, proper attires. They also have in-game custom editing tools so that you can even draw stuff on the tights and stuff in-game to get proper representations of a Bret Hart or whoever it is. And you can take those and just place them over wrestler A, B, C, or D, and whoever they're representing in the story.
We don't want to get too deep into the weeds. We're going to give them too much.
Yeah.
So what were the main points you hit on in the podcast? What
fully open sandbox?
Were they
fully customizable sandbox?
Or
they talked about everything as far as the creation suite, like everything you can imagine as far as what you want in a creation suite. Think of your dream creation suite. Just give me the top 5 things. Quickly from everybody. Top 5 things you want in a creation suite.
After AEW Fight
Top 5 things in a creation suite.
I just really need face morphing. I never knew how important it was, but
it's in there.
That lets me know we absolutely need it.
Top 5 things. Give me 4 more things.
Able to mess with the entire roster.
Yep. You can fully customize every part of every wrestler, whether it be boots, knee pads, full on everything.
Yeah.
Full body morphing.
Full body morphing. There.
Yeah, so that's another one for me too, though. Like the superstar threads,
full open sandbox.
Yep. I think that should be in
fully
every
customize
game.
Every thread.
Yeah.
Yep. So if you download Matt Cardona and say in the 2000s storylines, Matt Cardona is actually represented by some fictional character in the game. Well, if you download Matt Cardona, you can just copy and paste his full gear over to the wrestler that represents him, so that in the storyline you have actually Matt Cardona representing Matt or Zack Ryder, right?
Yeah.
That's they touched on that as well. So it's just basically full open sandbox, as much customizability as possible. You can customize your federations, your rings, your arenas, your championships, everything full customizable, image uploaders, community creations, in-game editing tools to be able to draw in the game, in-game MIDI editor so you can edit your own songs. And then he talked about the online, which is probably the most ambitious aspect of the game that I'm most looking forward to, is a weekly television show or a weekly stream that they're going to do. And they're going to have an online championship, an internet title that there's only one in the world. More if they're unable to do crossplay. So maybe an Xbox, a Steam, and a PlayStation title. But if they're able to do crossplay, the idea is to have one title, one person holds it, and they defend it every week on the show. If they're unavailable for say it's every Tuesday night at 8. If you're not available Tuesday night at 8 to defend your title, You're stripped. There'll be a tournament, a battle royal, whatever it is. Someone else will become champion. And every week you watch the show, you get a chance to, if you play the game, you get a chance to interact and become the champion.
Yeah, we were talking about that before we got on, and I think that is a really good idea. You know what? I wish it was crossplay, but we'll see how it shakes out.
We don't know.
People
they want crossplay.
They want it.
We'll
see how many people gets in there, because we see what happened with AEW Fight Forever and the Stadium Stampede. It was kind of hard to get people in there. So hopefully, we just got the player base to actually support that. But speaking of AEW Fight Forever, we're still waiting to hear some more about this update. And things have been quiet on their end. How do y'all feel about everything that's going on with AEW Fight Forever right now? Are we still hopeful for an update, or what do y'all think we are?
I think they're waiting to see how the sales do for the next few weeks and Black Friday, because that's coming up real quick.
Yeah.
And then they'll probably...
Black Friday? Is that the 19th?
I think it's...
It's like the 27th?
Well, let's see. Friday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's American Thanksgiving. I don't know what day that is.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it.
Yeah.
That's this the year it is the 24th.
24th? Okay.
No.
24th. That makes
So it
sense.
changed every year.
Well, no, wait a minute.
Maybe
It's December 1st this year. Because November 30th is Thanksgiving. When it's normally the Friday after Thanksgiving, so it's December 1st.
Oh, that's weird.
It's celebrated on the 30th this year?
Thanksgiving is always the last Thursday in November, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the
I'm
30th.
just so used to it being on the 24th. I ain't gonna lie
In
to you.
Canada, it's in October.
Yeah, so Black Friday's on December 1st this year.
Maybe that's their time frame. Like, soon as Black Friday hits, that's when the update goes, because that's when a lot of people...
No,
I think we need to
Thanksgiving
push
is the
before
23rd. Thanksgiving is the 23rd this year.
I thought it was always the last Thursday in
23rd.
November.
So Black Friday is on the 24th this year. That's the day after Thanksgiving, and then Cyber Monday is the 21st.
Okay.
So I think they need to push out an update, or they need to make this game look as good as possible before that date. That way you can actually push more people to buy it.
Especially when it's on sale, because it's on sale right now too. So
yeah.
What is
I mean,
it,
at that point though, what is the ideal price point to everybody in here? Like what right now for what we have right now? How much? $19.99?
No, I said $39.99 is fine. Game Pass is cool, but I think $39.99 is a good price for what we have right now.
For a Black Friday deal, I'd say $29.99 or lower. But
Black Friday,
that's not including the DLC. Well, yeah.
Yeah, Black Friday, $19.99. No, yeah. For Black, I'm more talking for Black Friday.
Oh, okay. Black Friday, $19.99.
$20. Because I think right now, I mean, we're waiting on an update, but we really don't I don't know, man. I feel like they're just so quiet and mysterious about it. It don't make no sense, bro. I mean, we're sitting here speculating, and we're in month what? No, it's been 5 months now since the game. 4 months. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? I don't.
That's all we can do.
All we can do is speculate. But it was like 2 weeks ago, right? When we got the good news, or the wave of good news, like an update's coming.
Yeah,
nothing really followed.
And Zaddy said that the patch is supposed to be really big, but I don't even trust his word because he don't play the game. So I don't know.
I literally every single time they drop an update or I hear a patch, it's got nothing to do with anything other than here's a bug fix. When in Road to Elite, you couldn't unlock stage 5 of this if you went through eating a food. Like what? Who noticed? Not one person's asking for this. So.
What did you guys say in chat? I can't remember. It was so funny in our group chat on Twitter.
Oh, I remember somebody. Fix. Yeah, was it
so
TV?
Funny.
Yeah. I don't remember what he said.
So funny.
But yeah, just things like clipping issues. They changed the name of this move. I remember I saw that in the patch notes, like change the name of MJF's move. I was like, what?
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
Like Spinebuster 4 is now properly named Spinebuster 3. Yeah. Oh, great. Thanks.
Weird things like that. But we'll see, man. I hope we get a good update. Because watching Kero's video when he was playing with the mod stuff, it made it look really fun again. Made me want to jump back in there and play.
Yeah. I think update is not enough, though. Recent example for like a successful type of update and able to accompany being able to pull the players back was Cyberpunk. Obviously, now the scale is much larger, but they had a great update. And which was cool, but it wouldn't bring many people back. At the same time, they had a good expansion, like something more, a new story, new gameplay to come back to. So I think AEW Fight Forever just needs that. Just new game modes would be great, like match types. I don't imagine they'd be too tough. So great update, right? Which fixes the game, maybe enhances the gameplay with some new gameplay modes. Now, like, okay, let's get in there. Let's do it with like a Black Friday deal. All right, now we're talking. That might do something.
Yeah.
So Kero, you played the patch that was released by the modder, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So did that unlock any new match types?
No. The one I played only messes with the duration, the balance of everything.
Yeah, you had hot tags in there too, though, right? Like, didn't they add the hot tag to the tag?
Yeah, they enabled hot tags with that patch for sure.
But it wasn't able to pull out the match types that were missing from Road to Elite and put them into the game.
It was a strictly gameplay patch, nothing else.
I hadn't played it, so it's just because this was again done by a modder who has done more work for the game than we've seen from the actual developers.
Yeah,
funny. That's what it comes down to. It's my guess.
So we'll see where they go with AEW Fight Forever patch. I'm hoping we find something out pretty soon. I mean, we're just coming off of October, going back into November. So, I mean, we just passed another month. What is it? You said 5 now? Going on to 5, I guess this month. We just passed
at least 4.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Quick question for everybody. Would them simply pulling every game type or match type that's out in Road to Elite that's already in the game, so it wouldn't be a hard patch, wouldn't be a big thing, that and balancing 2 or 3 different things, like, broken gameplay wise, would that bring you back to the game?
Be a good start.
To play more than once, like to play like on a regular basis, would that be enough?
No,
I'm not playing that game on a regular basis.
No.
And WWE is like one of my favorite games, and I don't play it on a regular basis.
Yeah.
It's just not happening.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I mean, I normally play a game for just a while after it comes out. Like, I don't even really play Mortal Kombat on a regular basis right now, just because I'm playing Spider-Man, UFC. I just finished Lies of P. I play so many games. I don't play anything on a regular basis. But if they update it, I had so much fun streaming that game. I would want to get in there and stream it with people, at least on a weekly basis, once or twice a week.
Do you guys have any games that really hold you that you play for, at like over 6 months, like beyond 6 months after release, like on any kind of regular basis? Any of you have like a regular game you play like that?
I got Skyrim.
Skyrim, okay.
Yeah.
For me, I play so many games. Yeah. I know there's no one thing that's held you that's beyond 6 months. For me,
6 months is like multiplayer, Counter-Strike, Valorant.
That's what I'm wondering. Just like beyond 6 months of release, if there's any games that hold you guys. Clint, what about you?
Probably like I always like making wrestlers in 2K series or a wrestling game. So I usually go back, make a wrestler. I don't actually play the game. I just go back, make a new wrestler, try it out real quick, and then go back to playing whatever.
Okay. Brian, what about you?
To me, sports games. I've always been held down like by sports games for sure.
So
Madden,
will you play?
2K.
Yeah, will you play Madden or 2K 6 months after release still on a regular?
Yeah. I 2K. Before last year, I played 2K for at least 10 months out of the 12 months.
And we're talking NBA. We're talking NBA 2K, not WWE, right?
Oh yeah. We're talking NBA 2K, but that's also it also had to do with me having a stream of income from that game, and for fun, I've definitely done it for more than 6 months for sure, though.
Okay, yeah. For me, it's Destiny 2. I've been hooked on that game since launch, and I was hooked on Destiny 1 since launch. So for me, that's my game.
Nice.
Destiny. You know what? I wanted to get into Destiny, but when I first got it, because I never liked first-person games back in the day, and then I said, you know what? I'm going to start trying to play these. I can play them now, but Destiny was going to be one I tried to really get into, but it was like broken. I had it on Xbox One, I think it was, and it was like freezing, and it just wasn't working like it should, so I never got back in. But I mean,
that's sad.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people love it so much. Do they have a new one coming out? Destiny 3?
That's probably never going to happen. The final shape. It was a 10-year project, but when Activision passed, like when they got bought out, or when Bungie bought themselves out from Activision, because Activision had strict timelines on what they wanted. They basically wanted big, like, game, big release, next year, new game, and like a year later, big expansion, then new release. That we would be on Destiny 5 by this point if it was still under Activision. and Bungie just they couldn't keep up with that cadence. And when they took over, everybody celebrated, thinking that it was the greatest thing. When Bungie, took away from Activision, thinking Activision was holding the game back, and then we realized there was like 4 other developers from Activision funding side extra DLC for Destiny.
Oh, lost him again.
Mama just killed a man.
I'm surprised though they bought themselves out from Activision to get bought by Sony.
That the monetization.
We lost you, Mr. Dubbs. I don't know if you can hear us.
I can hear you. Yeah, I was just waiting. I can actually see when I'm frozen now, so I was just waiting for it to come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, monetization in the cash shop got a lot worse once Bungie actually took over, and content got a lot thinner. Yeah. It's been so many years that they've been separated from Activision now that we're used to it, but it was a bit jarring to go from X amount of content and then having you pay the same price, but getting almost like maybe 60% of that content and paying the same price every year. And they're always giving us reasons as to why we're going to get less content over time. And then there's more things like they've put out in there. It was supposed to be a devs only kind of thing, but why you never want to over deliver, because if you over deliver on a game, then it sets expectations so that if you can't deliver that same caliber and amount of content, there's an expectation now. So they intentionally never over deliver. So there's a lot of things that have soured me over time on the game, but it's just, I was never into FPSs before Destiny 1. Like I played some, but I was terrible at them. And I just got so invested in this game that it's just nothing feels as good to shoot and click heads. Like when you're seeing those crit numbers go up, whether it's on the AI or you're playing it in PvP, it's just nothing feels as good whether you're playing on controller or on PC. The shooting it's so satisfying, and the abilities, it's just they've had me hooked for 10 years, man. Like I put thousands and thousands of hours into that game, those games. Love them.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so before we get out of here, because this one could take a while, so I see another topic we have is predictions on Crown Jewel. When is Crown Jewel?
Oh, it's this Saturday, right?
Is this Saturday?
It's this Saturday.
I think so.
It's coming up. Yeah. It's coming up fast.
All right, so let's go through the card. So the first match we have is Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest.
Whoa.
Clint, who takes that one?
Wow.
It's got to be Cody. It's got to be Cody.
WWE booking, of course, it's going to be Cody. What do you think, Bryan?
Yeah.
Come on, man. You already know, man. Cody,
Mr. Dubbs,
Cody
you got
not
any
getting
thoughts
paid.
on
This?
I
Yeah.
know.
I just don't think this. Go
ahead, Bryan. I know you're a Cody Rhodes guy.
There's no way they pin him.
Yeah,
there's no way they pin him or anything. If anything, I could maybe see like a like to still have Judgment Day look semi-strong without getting pinned either. Maybe they have like an interruption and they just have like a brawl or whatever. But yeah, there's no way Cody takes the fall this week for sure.
Yeah, I agree. If they want to do like a normal screw job finish, I think I wouldn't be surprised to protect both guys. You got any opinion on it, Mr. Dubbs?
I am going to go against the grain, and I'm going to say Damian Priest via shenanigans.
Via shenanigans, I could see it, but I don't see them pinning him. It's pinning Cody at least.
One way or the other, Damian Priest via shenanigans, just because.
Yeah.
What's Cody Rhodes' next feud?
Roman Reigns.
For now.
Randy Orton.
Oh, that's a good one.
Is Randy Orton back?
I heard he's ready.
Series.
Did they already announce he's coming back?
No, they haven't announced it yet, but literally all the sites are.
Yeah, that's why I saw
He's coming. He's coming.
The guy also who makes his theme song, he got a remix. So when Randy comes back, definitely expect a different remix theme song.
But is he going to come back as a heel then?
I don't know. If he comes back as a heel, I would love.
That makes sense.
If he comes back as a heel, I would love to see a Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton match built up for Royal Rumble.
That could be WrestleMania, cool. But that could be WrestleMania, right?
You said built up for Royal Rumble, so
I don't see Cody winning the Rumble. I think he's going to win the Chamber.
I don't think. Do you think Cody's going to be in the main event of WrestleMania this year? Because I do not.
Yeah, he's gonna face Roman.
But Roman's retaining this year. He's going to be Hulk Hogan's record.
Yeah,
100%. You do not. There's no way. There's no way you beat Cody 2 years in a row.
Yeah. Well, he's too close.
That's the issue too. It's like I think it was
you
Clint
can't
who
have
said
Cody.
this. Cody is Cody is white hot, but how long is he going to be white hot for? Like, I don't know how hot Cody can still be. Like, I still feel like he's losing momentum, like little by little.
WWE does not care. Were you watching when Bryan Danielson? Like, was
Triple H now.
Okay,
different guys.
You're right.
Charge, so.
You know what? You're right. So I got to throw what I said out the window. I was going to say, look at what they did with Daniel Bryan. Yeah. That was such a juxtaposition that they had to do. They did not want to listen to their fans with that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it really just depends. I think you can't have Cody lose 2 years in a row. That's for sure. Like, if Cody is in the main event again this year, I will bet my house that he wins. There's no way you have him.
You think they're gonna? There's no way that Roman's had the title this long, and they're not, especially in the locker room and everything. Like, no one half the locker room does not like Hulk Hogan, and they probably want to distance themselves from that, and they just want that reign to be dethroned. This how I see it. I totally could be wrong, but
you do have a point though. They've already made it this far. When's the next time they make it this far?
Exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be 20 years. So I don't see Roman. I could see honestly Roman. How far is he from Bruno? How many years does he need before Bruno?
A lot more.
No. He ain't going.
I'm just wondering if it's possible. If it's even achievable.
Bruno had like 8 years or 7 years.
It's like a long time.
Yeah, and I mean Roman
look it up now.
Doing what, year 3?
It all depends, I think, who Roman faces at Mania. If it's not Cody, he's keeping the belt. If it is Cody, he's got to lose.
Okay, so he's on pace to beat Bruno's second reign, which is 1237 days. That comes up before Hulk Hogan. Then Hulk Hogan's 1474. But then Bruno number 1 reign is 2803. There's no way Roman's going to hold it for another. How many years has it been?
That's like literally. He's literally like damn near.
He's not holding. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So once he beats Hulk Hogan, that'll be it. Yeah, once he beats the Hulk Hogan record, that'll be it for sure.
My thing is though, another thing that does worry me about that, if Roman Reigns has that type, he wins, right? Which obviously that it can go either way. Who do you even have Roman feud against at this point? Like, he literally beat everybody on the roster. I don't understand.
MJF.
The Rock? He said he's retired, I believe, again.
Yeah, but my thing, even if the Rock does happen, let's say that they set that up for next WrestleMania, Roman's gonna beat him again. Roman's not losing to the Rock.
MJF.
Right, and he shouldn't lose to the Rock. So I mean, I agree.
So it's like, bro, how many years you gonna keep the title on this guy?
No.
And then again, there's no shot. Even if CM Punk comes back, there's no way they throw the title on CM Punk after
LA Knight.
Hey, I don't know.
Hell no, bro. Oh, LA Knight. LA Knight's not beating him neither. LA Knight has a better shot at beating Seth.
Absolutely not beating him.
I'm not saying now. I'm saying after the Hulk Hogan reign's done. I'm saying you can have LA Knight, you can have Damian Priest, you can have MJF, you can have Will Ospreay. There's lots of people who aren't even in the picture or in the company right now that you can have to.
Look, I was not buying everything you guys were saying, not at all, until Bryan. Like Braun isn't enough either.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. LA Knight will beat Seth for that title before he beats Roman. But go ahead, Kero.
I was just gonna say, like, until you said when Roman beats Cody, who do we have left? And yeah, like that made me really think, because I was not buying anything before that. Now, like, yeah, there's literally no one.
Yeah,
really, bro.
That's, I don't know. Like, Braun Breaker is great. Like, I love absolutely everything he's doing, but I just don't see him.
Money in the Bank. You don't see him getting a Money in the Bank and then cashing in after a treacherous match.
There's no way they make him. There's no way they make Roman. Listen,
that's how you make a star.
I think Cody is the guy. Let me get that straight. Whether he loses this year, whatever the case is, Cody is the guy.
Cody was the guy this year, but now
I thought Cody was the guy last year. I literally could not believe
I thought he was the guy at this WrestleMania.
I also think that what they're doing with Cody is, I think Cody's going the Dusty route. If you look at his Peacock documentary, he talks about how Dusty always wanted to lose to then come back up and get built back up. And I think that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, he's going the Dusty route. But Dusty never won the championship. So
right, but I think Cody is the guy that beats Roman. Like you guys said though, I think Cody came back at a time where they don't know what the hell they're doing with Roman, whether they want him to keep it, because even last year for WrestleMania, the decision was made like I believe just a couple days before WrestleMania, like based on reports. Like they didn't have that set. Like Roman is beating him. Cody was literally like white hot. He's still white hot now, but the way Cody went into Mania, cutting the promos, you really thought he was gonna win the title. The promos
he's hot
great.
now, but he was white hot when he came back.
For sure, 100%.
Okay, do we think if Roman doesn't lose it at this WrestleMania, which to beat Hogan's record he will not, he's going to hold it to the following WrestleMania then at least?
100%. That's the only pay-per-view you make him lose the title.
Yeah.
Crown Jewel.
He's
you
barely
don't
on
have
TV
a Saudi
right
Arabia.
Now,
and that's a glorified house show.
Of course it is, but they pay a lot of money.
For sure.
When will he hit Hogan's record?
September.
Next
year, September.
322 days from now.
Man.
That's a long time.
Kenny, that's what I'm saying though, bro. It's like I see they extended Roman Reigns' reign this year because he's defended the title, I believe, once, which was against Jey Uso at SummerSlam. Aside from that, he had tag team feuds and things like that. So they were trying to get away from the title for a little bit to kind of build somebody else to take that. Now it's LA Knight, obviously, which is going to be his second defense. Now he's probably going to go away because I'm hearing reports he's not going to be at Survivor Series. So that's another thing that I'm like, all right, what are we doing there?
He's doing the Brock Lesnar title defenses. That's how they wanted Brock Lesnar to beat CM Punk's long reign because it was the longest reign in 20 years. Yeah. And they just had Brock Lesnar defend the title like less than 10 times in that time, whereas CM Punk defended it like 30 or 40.
The one thing I will
Roman
say
Reigns,
about
just have him defend once at Survivor, 4 times a year. Survivor Series, which he's not doing this year, I know. But Royal Rumble, just your whatever big four you want to make a big four. Makes it a big deal.
I think he'll defend it at the Rumble because I think that's one of the pay-per-views you got to defend it at. So you got the Rumble. I don't think he'll do the Chamber. No. He'll do WrestleMania and he'll do SummerSlam and maybe in Survivor Series, which now he's at a Crown Jewel. So 4 times.
So what about a crossover UFC guy like a Conor McGregor?
What you think that comes in and takes
cool. That's money.
To come in and dethrone him at WrestleMania? No one can touch this guy. No one can do nothing. Then they bring Conor McGregor in for real money and actually have him win it.
They're the same company now too.
They're the same company.
All right. So they're. I'm just saying
that's money. That's money.
I'm gonna disagree because we talk about last week when we talked about Carmelo Hayes and all these guys. We were talking about height. Conor's like 5'8". There's no way they're gonna have
Floyd Mayweather, Big Show.
Floyd Mayweather, Big
Show.
Yeah, but we see Conor McGregor doing this.
This is against big. This isn't for no title. We're talking about like a 4.
You understand that Conor McGregor is a million times bigger to everyone else outside of the wrestling sphere than
Conor McGregor comes in.
They don't know who Roman Reigns is. Conor McGregor's up here. Roman's down here. Right?
Yeah. Well, no. I completely understand that, but there's no way you have Conor McGregor.
Why is there no way? Knocks him out with a flash KO.
It's possible Logan Paul's going to take that belt from Roman. If I'm
exactly.
No, I think Logan Paul is going to win the U.S. Championship. I know you were going to ask that question, but I can see that happening. I don't see Conor McGregor coming into WWE WrestleMania. He beats Roman for the championship.
No, I'm saying
we're just talking about Brock Lesnar getting that speed.
Not over a year.
But you got it.
Conor McGregor in over a year from now.
Let me ask you a question though. What does this do? What does this do? WWE and Conor McGregor, like, if somebody's gonna lose the title,
he's the perfect personality for wrestling.
Perfect.
He's like, no,
perfect.
Yes,
in my opinion,
he has it all. He has the mic skills. My point is, what does this do? Like, if you're gonna put it on somebody, Cody's probably gonna wrestle for to 10 more years. I mean, he's already 37, 38. So you got to put the title on him at some point if you're going to do it. So we're talking about Cody, and then we're talking about Conor. So it's like Cody, he's going to be your white hot baby face. He's going to be your new John Cena, right? What does this do for Conor? How does this build him up? He's already big as it is. You said it. I just don't.
But that's the thing. Why did The Rock take the title off CM Punk? Because he's the bigger name for John Cena at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Conor McGregor's the biggest name.
Number 2.
But Conor McGregor's the biggest name in the industry. If you're already okay with only having Roman defend that title 3 times a year, we're talking about maybe, then yeah, you can have Conor McGregor do the same thing. He already fights what, 3 times a year in the UFC if it's a good year,
if so,
if not once every 3 years.
No more,
I know it's been years since he's fought. I'm just saying, if Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan can be 5'6" and be legitimately beating Batista and Randy Orton in the main event of WrestleMania and Triple H in the same night, you're telling me they can't have Conor McGregor walk in there and knock Roman Reigns out? You're crazy.
And he's swole.
That's money.
Small. He's short.
I think this is a huge reach, though. I'm not.
I don't.
So
I
you're
don't
saying
know.
if Conor McGregor
involved.
It's not with TKO involved. It's not.
If
they offer him
if UFC wasn't the same brand, I agree with you. If they weren't one entity now, it's because they're one entity that I'm talking about this.
Yep.
I don't think there's ever a chance if they're separate entities and Conor's just coming in for a payday. Never in the world would Vince ever let that happen. My top guy losing to this vanilla midget. No, but they already talk shit on Twitter and everything. Vanilla midget. Oh, I don't have respect for anybody except for Triple H and Vince. They're the Dons. No, I definitely see with TKO that being a possibility. Because you're saying who? Braun Breaker, not good enough.
Cody Rhodes, probably he's in the running. Y'all saying he's not good enough.
To me, I
believe in Braun.
To me, that's the only guy I see.
Braun,
I see MJF and Braun Breaker.
Amazing.
He's great. Yeah.
When we're talking about, it's just, I know what y'all saying with TKO. Anything is possible at this point because
Conor's the biggest draw in the world.
But man, I don't. Are we sure he's the biggest draw?
That's like having Mike. That's literally like in '98. Mike Tyson was already fell off in boxing. If you had Mike Tyson in the main event against Steve Austin at WrestleMania, which they would have loved to have done if they could have at the time, they legitimately can do that now with Conor. It's the same thing. Are you telling me they wouldn't have had Mike Tyson knocking out Shawn Michaels or whatever and winning the title and holding that belt up on SportsCenter? Mike Tyson being the WWF champ, they for sure would have done that back then if he could have wrestled. Right?
I'll tell you this right now, not because I'm a Cody fan, none of that. If Conor McGregor comes in, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, a hypothetical situation. If he comes in next year and beats Roman for the title, I'm dead ass done with WWE. There is no shot I watch this shit, bro.
Really?
Man,
to me,
that would reinvigorate them.
That.
Yeah, the ratings are going to go through the roof if that happens.
Yes.
Through the 100%. Roof. They're going to hit 3 million again.
Business-wise is good. Business-wise is good, but then again, why don't you have him go for the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw?
Because you need the WWE Championship if you're Conor McGregor.
If you're Conor McGregor, you're going after big dog.
L's,
you're going after
realize he is a big star. If he came back today and fought anybody, most highest selling pay-per-view of the year.
Look what they did with Ronda when they introduced her.
Here's what I'll say. I can see Conor. It's not that I don't see Conor winning the title. I don't see him in WWE. I just don't see him dethroning Roman after this 4 or 5 year reign he's having. Now, if you tell me that there's another wrestler that beats Roman, per se, Cody, in a year from now,
but then it's not as big. It's not as big at WrestleMania main event. You have that undefeatable champion against Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns undefeated for 5 years. Conor McGregor coming into WWE.
So you have a guy who's never done WWE before. For all you know, this could be Ronda all over again.
Ronda Rousey was legitimately that, and they made her champion real quick.
Yeah. Trust me, Conor McGregor.
I think Conor would be way better.
How long was the Undertaker streak at WrestleMania? How many years?
It was 21 years. I've been.
And who beat him?
Who beat him?
Who beat it? Was it a former UFC champion that beat him?
Yes.
Was he dethroned by a former UFC champion?
We're not doing it. They were trying to legitimately.
Undertaker wanted to legitimize it.
They were legitimately. I'm sorry, I can't even talk. The guy gave me so heated right now, bro. No, Brock Lesnar, bro. They were trying to repackage him, which is exactly what they did by beating the Undertaker. Which that was. Honestly, I feel like they could have had somebody else beat him, but Brock was obviously that guy. This is a conversation for another day, though, because we're not finna get into that. My point is, they were trying to repackage Brock, bro. Brock originally was a WWE guy.
Right?
He did WWE before UFC.
So I got a question. Before you point this out, I have a question. And we're assuming Roman's probably going to beat the Hulk Hogan streak, and he's going to next year's WrestleMania before he loses. Does this make Roman's whoever beats him bigger than the streak? Forget that Brock beat the streak and it meant nothing for him. When the streak was at the streak and whoever should have been passed to, Bray Wyatt, my opinion. But if they were ever going to do it at all, otherwise never do it, my opinion. But
I agree.
Is this title reign as significant as the streak was? And if it is, this is Triple H's chance. If it is as significant as the streak was of 30 years plus, if it's Triple H's chance to fix, because Brock Lesnar winning it, again, did nothing for Brock because Brock was already established. This is Triple H's chance to do that over again. And so my question to you guys is this as big as Taker losing the streak at WrestleMania? Before he lost.
Conor gets the title, yes, even bigger.
If Conor gets the title, yes, it's bigger.
Eyeballs like
but
this, bro.
Roman Reigns, his run right now, his championship run, I don't think it's bigger than the Undertaker streak. But yes, if
it's close.
Conor comes in,
but if they go another year, I'm saying they go another
years?
full year.
Not even
21 years.
You're talking to the biggest Undertaker guy.
21 years.
This couple's not going nowhere.
You got
again, it's
Ministry
21 years
Undertaker
at one
running
show
over
every
the
year.
guys. You got Purple Glove Undertaker running over these guys. Bike
Taker's-
Undertaker, come on, man.
Taker's
relatively
legacy
close.
runs
Okay.
so long that it eclipses Roman's title reign. In
Period.
my opinion.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is just my opinion.
Listen.
His
I
undefeated
understand-
streak is so
but
freaking long. That,
That's the way I feel. That's the way I feel about Roman losing to Conor, though. It's like you held the title for 5 years. For Conor McGregor to come and beat you?
For what do you
Like,
look?
I'm not
What do
even
you mean?
I'm not even
What do you
disrespecting
mean?
him, bro. He's not a
For
WWE.
Conor McGregor
bro.
to beat
He
you?
doesn't
No,
win the
yes,
title.
for Conor
Bro,
McGregor to beat
no,
you.
before I put it on Conor McGregor, bro. No, bro. Conor McGregor can still bring in ratings for WWE without winning the title.
No,
That's
if
my
he
point.
wins
He
the
just didn't
title, that's
win
even
the
a
title.
bigger story. Conor McGregor is the
Can't be-
WWE champion. That is
You
insane.
can't argue with
much
how
we're talking
big of a
about it
cop that
right
would be,
now.
and
Yes,
you would
it
go
can-
nuts. But
Headlines
Stryzer.
across the world.
I mean,
I'm not
Clint,
feel
it's a
like-
great point. Could you imagine the pop?
yeah, the pop would be
Headlines-
huge. Everybody would be like, "What?"
The headlines
But-
across
yes,
the world,
but
dude.
Yes,
I agree
it was
with
literally
Bryan. It would
McGregor.
damage. I think it would damage
His
wrestling.
reign.
It
Yes.
would damage
it would-
wrestling.
right.
It
not
would damage
just-
wrestling as a whole.
Clint,
You telling me you had this guy Roman Reigns beating the entire
Clint.
WWE roster
It
for
would make
4+
wrestlers
years?
look like
The
pussies.
Conor
Clint and Bryan.
McGregor, he only
Just pop
defended the
through and
belt
beat
one
him?
time. This year, he only defended it one time.
All right, but let's not even talk about this year. Let's talk about the past years.
Lackluster
and
matches. I mean, what was the best Roman Reigns championship match?
I mean,
that was a
the
long
one against
silence.
Brock was pretty good. The one against Brock
Sami
was
Zayn.
fire.
Sami
The one-
Zayn
Sami Zayn and-
Elimination Chamber.
Where they had to
Sami
pull all the
Zayn-
tricks and lift the
yeah.
ring up.
That was-
one against
that was
Brock,
'cause
they
of
had
the
to lift
fans.
the ring up.
That was because of the fans.
That was a great match. What you talking about?
I was there, but I was like, okay, y'all going crazy here. Why is the ring lifted up? Like, what are we doing?
I mean,
Separate
I guess
question.
it was just some creativity. It was cool. But now,
Roman's matches
I
with
do agree.
AJ Styles were better than any matches he had since he was the champion.
I agree, though. I agree with Dubs. Sami Zayn match, presentation-wise, the way he elevated Sami into this
Yes,
character.
that was cool.
It was great. It was great, and people were legitimately thinking like, "Yo, Sami Zayn should beat him," even though he wasn't gonna beat him. I didn't want Sami Zayn as champion, but people did.
Go
Go
Doug.
ahead, Dubs.
Conor McGregor fights again. Conor McGregor is the biggest draw. It doesn't matter what his record is in UFC. He comes over. He wins the title as a one-off at WrestleMania. At WrestleMania, he wins the WWE title.
As a one-off,
And as
you
I'm
didn't even
listen,
go have him make a match
listen,
before.
listen to me. Listen to me. He is now the WWE champion, and now he's going into his next UFC fight against the UFC champion of whichever division he wants to be fighting in. 155, 170, whatever, 145, whatever division he wants to go in. He's now fighting for that title. He is, because he can at any point can headline against the champion of any of those divisions, and people are going to buy it. It doesn't matter what his ranking is. He is Conor McGregor. That he is that special. He is that athlete. So he legitimately can go from beating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, WWE champion, and he can legitimately legitimize it with a UFC title and say double champion, WWF and UFC, and then the WWF is like, look how great we are. It doesn't matter.
Do we
GSP
know that though?
wasn't that guy.
He can come back and recover.
You know he's
GSP
done, bro.
He can come
Bro,
back.
yeah,
GSP
he's stopped too. Now, I don't know.
GSP retired. He was done. Hendricks fucked him up. He was finished. He left for years, was seeing aliens, getting visited by aliens and everything else. And he comes back to fight the perfect opponent in Michael Bisping, going up a weight class for the title, fought the one fight, won the title, and said, I'm good on defending this. I just knew I could beat Bisping, and the money was good. Wins the title. Conor just has to beat one guy.
One guy.
In any of the divisions he picks He's like, oh, I see this guy at
Nate
145.
Diaz, come back and fight Nate Diaz.
But I'm saying if he wins the WWE title, whoever is champion in UFC in any of the 3 divisions he wants to fight in, if he sees someone that he can beat in those divisions, he gets that fight. And regardless, you've got WWE champion versus UFC champion. Win or lose, that's big draw for UFC, for TKO as a brand. And if he wins the title, having both those titles, and he's legitimately a champion of TKO, there's no more publicity or money. He's the TKO champion for everything.
Killed it, Mr. Dubbs. Killed it.
I'm telling you, it's money. It's money, and it's because the merger. It's because of the merger.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing that it's not money. It's not, I understand that the ratings would pop. I understand everything about it. All I'm saying is, if he beats Roman Reigns after a 4-5 years reign, it's gonna diminish his reign.
It doesn't if he wins the UFC title right after that.
But I don't know which one he can win, Mr. Dubbs. I don't
know which one he can win. By the time this happens,
I don't think he can beat Islam Makhachev. I don't know about.
I say pick the division and hopefully someone maybe an interim title. Who cares? Fight us injured. I'm saying if Brock Lesnar was 5 years younger, you don't think they would try the same thing with him? WWE champion, go fight for the UFC heavyweight title. If Brock was 5 years younger, they'd be doing it with him too.
Brock was a monster star though for everything.
Ronda Rousey, you don't think UFC would love to have Ronda Rousey back for a fight? They'll throw her a title fight tomorrow.
Please keep her out of there. She can't.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Of course not.
She can't have with them no more.
But there's so few athletes that can legitimately do both at that level that it's literally Conor McGregor could transition over for a couple of matches, and you've got Brock Lesnar. Otherwise, you're pretty much hooped. Matt Riddle's not championship level. And he's gone from the company now, and Ronda Rousey's not going to be winning any titles anytime soon.
All right, let's poll the room. Let's poll the room. I wish we were live right now. Clint, do you think it would be a good move if they brought Conor McGregor in to win the WWE Championship? A good business move.
Financially, yes, but for wrestling and the wrestling world, no.
Okay, so I'll say it for you, bro. F-U-C-K, no.
Mark.
So you said it would destroy wrestling. How do you mean it could destroy wrestling?
Well, UFC is UFC, right? That's combat sports. Wrestling, there's the magic about wrestling where you can damage it a certain way if you do certain things. This is one of those things that could damage it. Yes, you'll make him a legitimate champion. Yes, you'll make tons of money. But the perception of wrestling could be severely damaged because then you take your top guy in WWE, depending on how he loses, it'll probably be because I doubt Conor McGregor could do a match. He'd probably just squash him, right? That's probably what would happen. And then you just make your top champion wrestler, who's a heel, just look like crap. And then, these wrestlers are a bunch of pussies. Look at the UFC guy that
it's Conor McGregor. It's Conor McGregor.
Yeah, you can't do shenanigans.
This is an actual UFC fighter, so him coming over to a different world being a wrestler, I don't think that makes him look bad at all. It doesn't hurt wrestling either.
Bro, listen, it's not, bro. That was over there talking about some shenanigans. Bro, this is a 4 to 5 year reign, a championship reign. Ain't no shenanigans about that, bro.
30 years of a streak went to Brock Lesnar, giving him 3 F5s.
Brock Lesnar was a wrestler first, so
Brock Lesnar.
The fans
Brock Lesnar won the UFC title, and Undertaker, after his fight and after his win, said, "You want to do this?" and told Brock Lesnar, "If you come back to WWE, I will drop the streak to you." Undertaker told Brock Lesnar this, and it happened years later. He told Brock Lesnar, "You're legit. You want to do this?" And that, I think it was after the Shane Carwin win.
He didn't even want to beat him.
Yeah, Brock
didn't want to beat him.
No, Brock didn't want to beat him.
The last minute.
But Taker said, "No, but
want to do. Let's do it."
Taker told Brock at the time after.
I remember that you want to do it spot. I hope we lost you again, Mr. Dubbs. All right, so Bryan, let's ask Bryan while we're waiting on Mr. Dubbs to get back. Do you think it would be a good move? Or why do you think it would be a good move for Conor McGregor?
He says, "I'll drop the."
We're losing you, Mr. Dubbs.
I know.
Back? Okay.
Yeah,
that's so passionate.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. Listen, man. Financially, ratings wise, like I've said before, and like Clint said, it would be great. They probably would be pulling in 3 million freaking viewers right now, 4 million damn near. All right, they'd be on top of the world wrestling wise. Shit, Fox is gonna sign them back at that point for whatever they want. My point is though, bro. Yes, it's good for the money and fun and ratings and all that, but this can damage wrestling, bro, in a way that it's like
how,
bro?
How?
Because this
wrestling
is
about storytelling.
Hold on,
you don't think they can tell a story?
Let's let Brian go.
This is like having, bro. Like, obviously he's a combat fighter. He's a former UFC champion. I love Conor. Like I love the way he is. I love the way he talks. Like, it's cool, but it's the fact that you talking about bringing him in and potentially knocking out Roman Reigns.
Yes.
And first off, he's not even a good face. Let's be honest. He's gonna be a great heel.
He don't got to be a face or a heel. He could just be Conor McGregor.
So tell me how the hell you gonna tell a story? Tell me how the hell you gonna tell a story?
David and Goliath.
Heel God.
David and Goliath.
Think that Roman Reigns could turn babyface in over a year and a half?
He's not going to turn babyface with the championship. I don't even think
Roman. If they want to put him against Conor McGregor, they sure could.
Gosh, bro, I don't even know why we're having this conversation. This is never happening.
Pretty quiet. What are your thoughts?
It can happen.
Kero,
look how heated.
Let's hear Kero. Kero, what are your thoughts on it?
Look how heated you are.
Man, I'm split right down in the middle because it'd be like insane to see Conor McGregor, and like in like the short term of it, it would be huge for the WWE. But for years, I've been finding myself saying on many YouTube videos, it's like screaming to the clouds, like WWE needs actual new stars, and that's what they should focus on. Just bring their guys up and give them good storylines, give them good matches, moves, make them mean something. Like for 20 years, if we get lucky, someone becomes a star. Like, or like if Elena literally just like, I don't know, with the hand of God or something, reaches up and pulls himself up, he becomes a star. Like, I mean, it's like Bryan says, if Conor McGregor just walks in and beats Roman Reigns, I don't know, like if I was a wrestler, I would just quit. I would just go, I'm done.
But why?
Knowing that you get a Conor McGregor payday?
McGregor ain't put the time in, bro.
Right.
He ain't put the time in WWE, bro. To come in and just
put the
be
time
a 4 or 5 year champion, bro.
All right, tell me this.
Bro,
tell me this.
No.
If Conor McGregor and Roman Reigns were walking down the street, Roman Reigns stepped on Conor McGregor's shoe. Conor McGregor gets in his face, like, why'd you step on my shoe? Now they're about to fight. Who's going to win?
Are you serious right now, bro?
Who is going to win that fight?
Who
wins?
Is this UFC or WWE?
No, I mean, this is the streets right now. This is the streets. No UFC, no WWE. They're meeting in the streets. Who's going to win?
Bro, obviously Conor's going to win.
So why can't you beat him in WWE?
Exactly.
Bro, no, bro. Just
there's no.
Why is there two AEW guys that completely understand the storyline?
Go ahead, Clint.
Like, it's so good for business.
Because there's a reason why you guys are AEW fans, and this right here proves it. This shenanigan y'all talking about proves it. This is why you guys are AEW fans. This is why, because y'all want big money and big matches, no storyline. This ain't cutting it, bro.
The storyline of Conor McGregor invading WWE. You know what? Bring Conor McGregor in with some other UFC guys. The UFC invasion. TKO. Boom. You want story? There you go. TKO is invading WWE. You got Conor McGregor taking on Roman Reigns. You got, let's put Israel Adesanya against who, Mr. Dubbs? Who we're going to put him against?
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins. Boom. We got another match there. Now we need a third one because the WWE superpowers are going to have to come together. You got Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins.
Tomorrow.
Who's the third guy in WWE?
There's no
Cody Rhodes.
So let me ask you a question.
I have a question.
Let me ask you a question. So do you have Israel Adesanya come in and beat Seth Rollins for the championship too?
Why not?
I mean, you can see it happening. Like, if you write it well, it can work. It can work.
You're forgetting something. These are two people that don't care about
Brian,
WWE,
you said no. I care about WWE. I grew up on WWE.
I care about wrestling. Period.
Brian, listen. You just said story, right? You just said story, right?
Adesanya and Conor is gonna come and win the title. Bro.
You get Israel Adesanya, you get Conor McGregor, and you get two other UFC guys to win the tag team championships. You got the UFC guys running rampant over WWE. Now you got to tell a story about the WWE guys coming together like, yo, we got to take them down. We're not going to let them come out.
Listen, bro.
Now, in the end,
Brock
the
Lesnar
WWE guys tried, boom.
and he destroys them.
Mr. Dubbs just
I'm
won
going to tell y'all right
comes
now.
back.
Brock
Listen,
Lesnar
man.
pops up. I'm a
Brock
WWE
Lesnar,
guy.
5 on Conor
Boom.
McGregor. Boom! And then you have the catchweight fight: Brock Lesnar, Conor McGregor in the UFC.
Book it.
Bam!
I mean,
Sell
I
it.
like.
Book it.
Listen,
Book it.
I'm not gonna lie. I like the whole little invasion thing y'all talking about. That invasion angle is fire. I ain't gonna lie, it's cool. But
He's coming around
we talking about beating Roman Reigns for the title.
Yes.
A UFC fighter? No, bro. And I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. That happens. I don't mean to get graphic in here, but I'll literally cut my balls off.
I have a
Not
question
gonna
for you,
happen.
Brian.
It's not gonna
Yo,
happen.
you got it on
If
file.
no
We
one-
gotta see it.
We got,
I'm not gonna watch. I'm not gonna
We don't
watch.
gotta see it. What?
Oh,
Everybody's saying how
Cut it,
they
cut
don't
the
see a
tape, cut the
contender
tape.
for Roman Reigns. Nobody sees a contender for Roman Reigns currently, whether it be Braun Breaker, whether it be MJF, whether it
guy
be
right here,
Cody.
bro. This guy
Yeah,
right
I
here,
know.
bro.
We all know. But if Cody doesn't do it, and if we're not giving it to Cody, then who better to beat Roman than someone from outside that's a legitimate fighter, a
Right.
legit fighter that everybody around the world knows, respects him. Like, yeah, he could catch him with a knockout. Like, oh, Roman's got the edge and he's got him beaten, everything, and then boom, Connor catches him with a right hand or a left head kick, and boom, and you can even let him shoot it. Let him shoot it. Roman's like, I'll take a concussion.
Roman
for
probably
this.
can't
And
take a punch. I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. I'm just saying you can so easily. And Brian, look how heated you're getting. That's ratings right there.
Brian would jump
The
the
fact
rail.
that this conversation, is invoking this much emotion from you
I'm just
means
passionate
they're
about this
doing
one,
the
man.
right thing. They're doing the right thing with the streak
My
by
dog is
making
looking
him
at me
beat Hulk
scared.
Hogan. I'm telling you, they're doing the right thing by keeping this title on Roman because you care so much about who beats him now. Now it means something. Some people, yes, it means more than the streak or as much. Some people, we've argued, no, 30 years, you can't beat that. But this is an undefeated title run. It's not one pay-per-view a year. This is legit. It's been like 5 years they've been building him. They've been building him for over 10.
Mhm.
He's been the man in WWE for 10 years. If there's no one if Brock wasn't the guy and no one else is the guy, the only thing left is pulling someone from the outside. So if you're not going
Yeah.
MJF, if you're not going Braun Breaker,
There's no way
Who
they
else
have an
do you have?
AEW guy
Here's the
come and beat
thing.
Roman for
Yeah,
the
I don't
chance.
think so.
and I agree with you.
Which
there,
if Kenny
but that's why
Omega
I'm
did,
saying,
that would be fire. But I'm
Oh
sorry.
my
Kenny Omega
God,
don't got
can
no
you imagine?
personality, bro. Keep him far away from here.
Right,
unless
but
he
if
got
Kenny
something
Omega
on him.
beat
Paul
Roman
Heyman
Reigns in
guy.
a title match,
Paul Heyman guy.
whoo, boy.
Make him a Paul
Right.
Heyman
Go
guy.
ahead.
Listen,
Wait, Kenny
listen.
Omega don't got no promo skill. I mean, not Kenny Omega. Roman Reigns don't really got no promo skills either. If we want to talk about
Stop
it,
it. Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns
has
is not a
drastically
good
improved.
promo.
You're oh my
No,
god, bro. Y'all gonna make me
wait,
crack
dude.
up.
That's why he has
Today,
everybody
bro.
talking for him.
No, hold on.
I'm
I
not
would
going to
agree
agree
with
with
you.
that.
I would agree
Suffering
with you.
succotash.
Vehemently.
Kenny, I will agree
That
with
was-
you. I will agree with
When
you.
he
Back
had the
when was
promo with
big
LA
dog-
Knight, he sat down the whole time while LA Knight carried it.
No, the big
Dude,
listen.
look at his
when
face.
Roman-
He told
yeah.
story.
He tells
When
exactly.
Roman was the big dog,
That's all he could do.
Listen, when Roman was the big dog, I completely 100% agree with you, bro. He could not cut a promo to save his life, which is why they threw a mouthpiece on him. But the way he's grown ever since being a heel,
He can't even
he
sell.
could cut a promo.
He
could cut a
can't. Roman
promo.
can't even sell in the ring. He can't cut a promo. He can't sell in the ring. He's a bad actor.
No.
When Roman
okay.
Reigns sells, this is all he does. I'm like, what is it always with the jaw? Watch his next match. All he does is this. I'm
I'll
like,
tell
what are
you
you
this
doing?
right now.
Yeah.
Everything that Kenny is projecting right now is exactly how I felt about John Cena all through
Oh
the
yeah, I never
2000s.
liked John Cena. Maybe that's why I don't like
I
Roman.
hated John. I hated Super Cena. I hated that RVD wasn't champion before
Even
him,
right now, he's too
during him, or
cartoony.
after
John
him.
Cena.
Yeah, but you guys, you listen, bro. I get like, no, bro. I can't agree with you, Kenny, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. You like Roman Reigns is a star, bro. You tripping?
Nah, he's a star. He's the biggest
He's
star
not
in
saying he's not a
wrestling.
star.
But they book him
100%.
well. That's the thing. He's very protected because he doesn't have to speak when he's got Paul Heyman with him. It's really his
100%, but
aura that gives it to him.
100%, but he does talk a lot more, even with Paul Heyman in the back.
He's barely on the show.
Paul
So.
Heyman will
wait,
come
you
out
said
and
in the
show
back?
face for Roman when he's not there.
You said in the
It's
back.
definitely improved. Let's get it. Let's say it
No,
clear.
he's
It's
improved.
definitely
I'll
way
give it to
better
that.
than
He's
it used to be.
improved, but he's not
Big
good.
improvement.
Now
yeah.
you said he can talk in the back, right?
He is great.
Those are pre-recorded.
his
You mess
brain
up.
has
All right,
been
let's
great.
just do it again, Roman. Do it like this. He's protected.
From the non
That's why he speaks in the back more.
from the non WWE guys, the non AEW guys, who is a better promo? MJF or Roman Reigns currently?
Let's talk about
Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns, MJF.
Okay. Can I say something real quick? I think both are good. I would give the edge to MJF, but I will give the edge to MJF because he's not watered down. He's basically given creative freedom, say whatever the hell you please, and that's that. Now Roman, I feel skills. Like 100%. Now I feel like Roman, he's gotten a lot better, but he's on somewhat of a leash. Nothing crazy because obviously he's the guy in the company, but on somewhat of a leash. He can't say certain things. MJF, he could get away with things. So I will give the edge to MJF on that. And even then, all around,
we don't need to make
MJF
excuses
better than
now.
Roman. It naturally comes to him. I didn't just
make
make excuses.
You said he got to do this. He can't say what MJF can, so they got to reel him back. But MJF.
So, am I lying though?
Roman can say whatever he wants. Just like John Cena goes out there and he can say whatever he wants. Certain guys can get away with it. Roman Reigns is going to tell them what Roman Reigns is going to do.
Yes,
if he was that good.
MJF, bro, he can't. All right. Roman Reigns is not doing what MJF does. We've literally seen MJF go around Tony Khan and just curse at the press conference. Whatever he's doing, and he's just doing whatever. And like, I don't know if you definitely seen it, where he was eating the pickle. This is a good fucking pickle. Yeah. Come get a pickle. Like shit like that, bro. That's not happening in WWE, and that's my point. Like I said,
but that's not a promo on live TV, though. I'm just saying,
it's not a promo on live TV. It's
promo skills, period. But for who's a better promo?
Yeah, but
who's a better mouthpiece?
I think MJF all around is better, but I also think Roman Reigns is not that far behind. I really think Roman is especially with this heel run.
Okay, what about everybody else? What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Kero.
I'm just gonna, I agree. I mean, you guys like discuss it pretty nuanced. Like in nuance, you say all the small things as well. And when you look at it, MJF does come ahead. Like if you just put them on the mic, no leash, no nothing. In the ring, MJF would
probably destroying him.
Roman's gonna get lost. He needs Paul Heyman.
He does not need Paul Heyman. At this point in his career, he does not need him anymore.
He needs him.
Paul Heyman is there, bro. I guarantee you, if Roman was on a time run, he could drop to Paul Heyman and not worry about it. I think the reason why Paul Heyman is there is because Roman literally not there. Like,
I'm trying to help you, Bryan.
Majority of the time.
Oh, go ahead, Clint.
I'm trying to help you. All right. So, MJF talking is much better than Roman, but Roman, there's different styles of promos. Roman feeds off the crowd. He uses his body language. It's something that people really do in the indies. They really get the crowd into it, and they kind of feed their promo through their actions, through their body movements. Sometimes you don't have to say anything, and Roman has mastered that. MJF, the actual talking would defeat Roman, no problem. But body language wise, I think Roman has it over MJF. If you watch Roman's promos, you could really tell in his body language just how he just reacts to everything. It's like, I don't know, it's like theater. It's weird.
Yeah.
Okay. My next. Sorry, Kenny.
Definitely MJF, no question about it. But if you think about what Roman, like everybody says, Roman's hot, he's the best, he's this and he's that. Roman has never had a successful run by himself. Roman can't go in that ring by himself and be successful. He always needs somebody with him. You said he was
a terrible.
I do agree with you, Bryan. He wasn't heel when he was cutting promos. I do when he was by himself.
But he was with the Shield. They were heels when he was with the Shield.
And then again, he wasn't when he was talking back then. But then again,
has he ever had a run by himself? Roman's never had a run by himself.
Yes, he did. The big dog.
He did.
The greatest run of all time.
My bad. I forgot about that one. He just always had the Shield attire on. Like he couldn't get away from that.
Because I'm leading to my next question was, so in ring just over the past 2 years in big matches, just because I can't say last year because Roman Reigns has had 1-2 matches, but so let's go last 2 years. Who's performed better in their big matches, Roman Reigns or MJF? Who's had better matches?
Well, that depends.
Roman Reigns,
because you got the WWE style and you got the
AEW
style.
But again, that goes to your personal preferences. Yeah, whose matches did you enjoy more?
Though 100%. But if enjoyment, I think more because I'm a WWE guy. I enjoy the WWE matches more. Sure. But if we're talking
performance,
and we're talking performance-wise, MJF has literally done stuff that I'm actually amazed to see him do. If I'm being honest,
I would actually go the opposite.
Did that.
Go ahead.
You think so?
My bad. I would say so because MJF, like when he first started wrestling, I thought he was a good promo, but not really a good wrestler. But he got better over time. Roman's matches are like theater. Like it's kind of like taking you on a ride. You don't know what's going on because I mean he'll get beat up the whole time. You'd be like,
that's a big part of
is this finally going to be the end of it? Like when when Cody Rhodes fought him at WrestleMania, it got up to that last moment. I didn't know who was going to win, and then of course he had the shenanigans. So I think Roman's matches are like theater. So I can really get into those more. Where MJF is more like that AEW style. So when it comes to putting on a match where you have that story built behind it, WWE might not go balls to the wall, but they're going to tell you a story, and I think that's where
I agree. Even with the Sammy and Roman match, I thought it was good.
Yeah, like even if sorry, Brian, but like even if Roman goes 20 minutes doing nothing, regardless, what he does at the end of the day means a lot more. Like I love MJF doing those crazy moves, being extremely smooth, like going 100 miles an hour in the ring. Like I love this tag team matches, earlier this year. I love this match with Adam Cole. Like that was one of the best AEW matches I've seen in a long while. But again, just Roman Reigns. Like Kenny said, it's theater. Like I find myself at the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
And even though he does a lot less, it just means more. And that impresses me.
That's
and that's why.
This is why I asked that. This is why I asked that. Stryzer, Stryzer, what about you?
Yo, go ahead, Clutch.
Well, you guys pretty much hit the nails on the head. Roman tells a story. WWE Styles tells a story. It's a running. I mean, even you said it yourself, Mr.Dubbs. AEW. It feels like they're just doing moves and doing matches. They don't tell a story. It's like, why is Kenny Omega?
But I don't feel that way about MJF in his matches. I don't feel that way about MJF in his matches. I feel that way about a lot of the matches, but I don't feel that way about MJF in his matches. I feel like everything he does means something. Yeah, and he's proven that he can get something like a kangaroo kick or a body slam over as a babyface, right? He's proven that he can do everything as a heel, and now he's showing as a babyface. I can get the crowd to care more about a body slam than a corkscrew 450 over the top. But if we're talking about MJF, and I know we'll touch on MJF and Kenny Omega here, but MJF, right after that Kenny Omega dive, is like, look what I can do. I can do this too. I never do it, and I never need to. But look, I can do a gainer for shooting star press over the top rope to the outside like it's nothing. So he can do that. He doesn't have to. He's shown that he can get over. And this is, to me, getting over a headlock takeover over Darby Allin. Because I'm talking 2 years, not just a year. Headlock takeover win over Darby Allin. The story he told with CM Punk in the dog collar match. The story he told losing to Wardlow in their match. Like, to me, the storytelling of MJF and how he's evolved over the last 2 years has been incredible to me, which is why I wanted your guys' perspective, because Roman Reigns, every one of his matches is an epic. Is Sami Zayn, it's always the underdog. Are they going to pull it off? Is Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania? Is this his time? Is it the fairy tale ending? Same thing. Sami Zayn in Montreal. Is this the time? Okay, we've got Logan Paul. Whatever it is, they always are able to build that story and make you think. They give you that much disbelief where you're like, maybe this is the time. Even though we know the streak and it's probably going to go on, they give you that much doubt where you're like, and that is storytelling, and that's where he's a master. And that's why I'm asking you guys. And the reason for this is if and when MJF eventually moves to WWE, it's going to be a different system. Yes, we've seen how Cody Rhodes, he's been in that system. Of course, he succeeds in it. How will MJF do? Will he be able to adapt to memorizing scripts and having more of a leash on him for his promos? Is his wrestling at the par? Is he enough of a storyteller, babyface or heel, that he's going to be on the level of Roman Reigns? We're already seeing without the handcuffs, Bryan, who's not an AEW guy, is saying that MJF is probably the better promo. Most of us agree MJF is the better promo. Wrestling-wise, again, we're hit and miss. Who's Kenny? The first person you would think would be, no, Roman Reigns. He has these epic climactic storytelling moments. Will MJF be on that level if he goes into a WWE where he's no longer big fish, small pond, right? That's what I want to know. Go for it.
I think if we're being honest, I think MJF pulls off the better moves. But if we're talking about making a match special, like Kenny and Clint said and Kero, I think that is what essentially matters. And I think that's what makes Roman, I guess, the better performer. Because I didn't think about it how Kero thought about it. Like, I usually am on the edge of my seat, even when the big dog thing and the Brock Lesnar match at WrestleMania. It was one of the WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was that match where they were going back and forth, and I'm like, yo, like he's always. I feel like Roman has always had that gift of being able to do that in the ring. The promos and the personality that they had him doing just wasn't clicking. Now, I think that right now he's doing some really special stuff, and everything he does feels special. And I even said that on the last podcast. Even when Roman Reigns is at SmackDown, it's like, oh shoot, Roman is here. Like it just feels special. I think that's what we're trying to accomplish with the title. And I do understand that he's not there all the time, so people criticize that. I honestly kind of like it because it's like if you have him there all the time, who's he going to be?
They tried doing that with MJF. AEW has done their best to do that with MJF. He seldomly wrestled for his entire run in AEW, where he would wrestle on pay-per-views, not generally week to week. They're getting him to wrestle a little bit more, but they tried. MJF is the only guy in that company that I feel, have booked properly, have kept to their story, have kept him as a character, and have kept him feeling special. And the more they're making him do these handicap matches and gimmick crap, they're making him feel less special to me and keeping the title off of him when he has the title. You never see it. I'm just wondering, I don't like it either. But do you guys think he is the level of performer that and if he gets the push, because that's what it all comes down to, you need creative and everybody behind you as well. Could he get to the level of, I'm not saying he's on the level of Roman Reigns right now, because I don't think he is. I think he's very young. He's much younger though. He's so young.
He's like 26 or 27.
Exactly. Yeah. So do we see him getting to that main eventing WrestleMania for 10 years level in 5 years from now?
He could.
That's hard.
I mean, he's young, but he could definitely get
it. It's one thing to main event WrestleMania once or twice. It's another thing to main event WrestleManias for a decade. No one has come close to that since Hulk Hogan.
Like you said,
Steve Austin didn't do it. John Cena didn't do it.
I think, Mr. Dubbs, I'm going to give you credit for what you said. Like you said earlier that MJF, the only one in AEW where like everything he does means something. And I absolutely agree. Like what the hands he's been dealt, the fact that he's been able to do all this amazing stuff just proves how a wrestler overall he is. And under the right setting, I absolutely believe that he could do what Roman Reigns did and even maybe surpass it. But for that to be happening, like the entire machine, the WWE machine has to believe in him like they believe in Roman Reigns. They got to give him main events. He's got to fall on his face maybe a couple of times. And then at year 5, year 6, we're going to see what's happening with Roman Reigns. And yeah, like MJF, we said better promo. Imagine he can easily surpass under the right circumstances if those were given.
I think the thing with Roman is though, MJ, like you said, the WWE machine is definitely behind Roman.
Yeah.
But it's really tough, bro. It's really tough to
getting behind an AEW guy.
True.
And I wasn't even thinking about it that way. I just feel like in general, it's really freaking tough to push a guy that much. Like the way they've pushed Roman, I'm glad it's worked. Honestly, if he didn't turn heel,
it took 6 years to work. It took 6 years. 6 years of main events that people didn't want to see at WrestleMania for it to work.
My point is, if let's say COVID didn't happen, and let's say that they keep pushing this whole face thing, because it was COVID where there was no crowd, that they were like, all right, let's try something new. There's no crowd here. Let's see how people react to it. So let's say that doesn't happen and they keep pushing him as a face. Roman doesn't hit this level of what he is now. So
I think it was just Vince being stubborn.
I think 100%. It was just the same thing they did with Cena because they didn't want to see. He made the mistake with Austin. Yeah. He turned Austin heel in Texas.
We cut Bryan off. Go ahead, Bryan. My bad.
Yeah.
No, no, you're good. I just think for him to even be bigger, I don't see somebody being bigger than Roman for at least, man, I'm talking 10, 15 years. I just don't see it.
They do it somehow though. Like John Cena.
I never thought they would beat. I didn't see they'd do it over Cena.
Now I don't think they'll ever beat Stone Cold Steve Austin, but John Cena is kind of that level where
he was 10 years top of the, and now Roman's done that.
I agree, but John Cena really started. He started falling because I feel like they were prepping Roman though to be the next Cena before Cena even left. That's why the big dog thing was happening.
They told CM Punk,
like this is doing that type of thing.
In 2011, they told Protect Roman to CM Punk in a handicap match against the Shield where CM Punk was going over. And he was like, why am I going over then? Why not have Roman beat me it's a 3v1 handicap. Like, no, you're winning. Just protect Roman. Because he was the pet project forever.
He said, "You want me to protect Roman? Then why don't we just let Roman win?" No, just protect him.
No.
But you wanted to add something, Clint? I thought I saw you about to say something.
No.
Oh no.
No, you're good. I'm good. You can go ahead.
All right. I was just reading.
All right, I thought you were going to say something. All right, cool. Were you finished, Bryan, or you had something else to add?
Nah, I'm good, man. I talk too much this damn podcast.
I'm good, man.
We love your opinion. We love your opinion. There's never too much.
Especially when you get we went over, though. We're almost like 30 minutes over. And I know Clint said he was up since 1 a.m, so we probably need to go ahead and shut it down. All right, anybody else got anything to add? Go ahead.
The predictions, or I guess that's done.
Honestly, you know what we could do? Those predictions, bro. If we can get the WGC in here one more time this week and put it in a separate video, I think that's
actually,
now.
Let's try. Let's shoot for it. Let's do that. So let's do it. I mean, whoever we can get in here, even if it's not everybody, I think we should do it. Yeah. All right, so y'all be on the lookout for that predictions video. Yeah,
because we be out here for 3 hours, bro. Right now.
Yeah. Listen, we got less people on the pod. We got less people on this week, and we went longer than we ever have. So
we also didn't talk about Kenny and
we missed a lot of
the Kenny Omega MJF topic.
Oh my god!
So we'll go over that in the predictions as well.
Yeah, we can do that. All right, y'all. Let's let Kero close us out this week.
Oh,
I'm just throwing on somebody random every week now.
I wasn't expecting that, but anyway, okay. Well, this is the end of our heated debate that I was not expecting to happen, but it was very interesting. Like, I haven't been this introspective about like a wrestling subject in a long time. So, boys, it was absolutely fun, absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks everybody for watching. This is the WGC sign off. We'll see you quite soon.
Everybody's links are in the description. Make sure y'all follow everybody's YouTube and on Twitter.
Yep.
All right, boys, we out of here.